tonight's Facebook record sale. When you're on and watching, be sure to let us know. All right. Craig, first comment. Led Zeppelin. Speak of the devil. All right, let's get this shared everywhere. Those can go in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There wasn't a pre-order on it. I'm pretty sure we have.
We don't have them priced yet, though.
Okay.
He's going to price some stuff before we get going. Okay. Let's share this there, and there. And I think that's all. I guess I did make one post. Let me copy that link. All right. Let's see. Live now. Okay. I just had to share it a few places, and I'm ready to go. Now, y'all have to share it. Let's see. Chat is opened. Phone is acting slow tonight. Hope that don't mean anything. All right, there is that. We are good to go. Let's see here. Iron Maiden. I'll show that in just a second. Some of those aren't on the sheet, and I don't have them filled out. So if you could just price whatever is, you could price whatever is there, and the stuff that's you don't have prices for, different bin. Because there's some stuff in those I'd definitely like to show tonight. The check condition crate is good as always. I'm going to start with a crate of new vinyl that has never been shown before. Go ahead and start off with that right off the bat. Or show one from last night maybe. Is this one from last night? Yeah, I'll just go ahead and start showing these. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. First thing I need you to do is share the feed on Facebook. Also, just equivalent if you don't like sharing, if you're an anti-sharer. Sounds like something on a Seinfeld episode. He was an anti-sharer. Then you can just hit the like button. If you don't like hitting the like button, then I guess just be grumpy and sad your whole life. There's also a thumbs up button on YouTube you can hit. That is the equivalent of sharing on YouTube. It really helps us with the analytics and overall reach of our feeds. So we appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to get started right off the bat here. We have U2 War. We're going to go through a bin probably we've already been through from last night, but we always call it a warm-up bin. There usually is at least 1, 2, 3, 4 records sold out of the warm-up bin, usually. Let's see if we keep that streak. U2 War. This is a nice remaster, by the way. Gatefold, single LP. Of course, Sunday Bloody Sunday, New Year's Day. What a great song. $31.99. I'm an anti-sharer. Yes, a lot of people are. They're like, Chad, I don't want people to know where I buy my records. Some of you record collectors are very private. You're like, haha, look what I got, and you don't. I'm not telling you where I got it either. Fleetwood Mac Rumors is $31.99. Mitchell, we got 2 different versions of Rumors. We've got a single LP that is $31.99, and then we have a 2 LP that is a 45 RPM Palace pressings that is $59.99. Metallica, Ride the Lightning. Metallica, Ride the Lightning, $31.99. Yeah, some people's very private about where they get their records. They're like, I'm going to buy something, not tell anybody, then show it off. That's the way I roll. And then some people's like, I'll tell everybody where I bought it. I bought it at Collectco. Some people's like, nah, I'm just going to quietly buy and then post and let all my friends wonder where I get all these amazing records from. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here, remaster, $38.99. $38.99, Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Yellow Submarine and The Beatles, Hard Day's Night. Those are both $36.99. That's Hard Day's Night and Yellow Submarine. Those are $36.99. A couple new Beatles in stock. This is U2 Pop. U2 Pop is $36.99. That is actually a 2 LP remaster. 2 LPs from U2, and it's only $36. I consider that a bargain. U2 is usually pretty pricey with their stuff. Starting Over, Chris Stapleton, $42.99. That's a 2 LP. That's Chris's newest album. Maybe he'll come out with some new material here very soon. He put out that single a few months ago. Dave Matthews Band, Crash, 20th Anniversary LP Edition. First time ever on vinyl. Dave Matthews Band, $38.99. Crash Into You. I was watching some Dave Matthews Band live in Atlanta at like an outdoor festival. Man, goodness gracious. A lot of people there. A lot of people into their music. They were doing, what were they doing? I think Beyond These Crowded Streets. This is Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast, $36.99. Judas Priest Turbo is $28.99. And we have Casey Musgraves Golden Hour, $33.99. Casey Musgraves Golden Hour. Our first sale of the night goes to Andrew Showen, and that is Dave Matthews Band, Crash. If anybody else wants one, I have one. Let's see. The Beatles, they have a remastered box set. Yeah, there's remastered Beatles box sets. They're not easy to get, though. Jeb, very easy to buy from us. If you make a purchase and you're on YouTube, we'll send you a link to our website where you can send us your email address and mailing address. At the end of the week, we will send you a link via email to a Square checkout link. So that link will be a Square checkout link. You put in your credit or debit card and we'll ship to you. Very, very easy to buy from us. We have sales all week, and then we do an invoicing cycle for $7 unlimited shipping. So we started this week on Tuesday. We had a sale last night. We're having a sale tonight, and we're doing another one Friday and Saturday night. And those are $7 unlimited shipping, as much as you buy during that period. Leonard Skinner is $33.99. Big Star, $44.99. Big Star, the best of Big Star, $44.99. James Taylor's Greatest Hits. This one's been kind of, quote, warming up. We've been selling a lot lately. I've only got one in here, and I think I need an extra anyway for the flip video I posted last night, but I can get more, so those are $28.99. Genesis, A Trick of the Tail, is on yellow vinyl. Genesis is $28.99. Prince, Purple Rain, $31.99 for Prince, Purple Rain. Black Label Society, Alcohol Fueled Brutality Live, that is $39.99. American Heartbreak, that's Zach Bryan, triple LP, $59.99, and I've got a couple of those. So one more time on this crate. That was just our, quote, warm-up crate. And then I'm going to bring over some new material that you may have never seen before. So we have U2 War, $31.99 for U2 War. Metallica, Ride the Lightning. Metallica is $31.99. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. A lot of restocks in this crate that we needed for the store. And some of our best sellers like Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Yellow Submarine is $36.99. Hard Day's Night is $36.99. U2 Pop is $36.99. Chris Stapleton, Starting Over. Dave Matthews Band, Crash. Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast. Judas Priest Turbo. Casey Musgraves Golden Hour. Leonard Skinner's Second Helping. Big Star, the best of Big Star. James Taylor's Greatest Hits. Genesis, A Trick of the Tail. Prince, Purple Rain. Black Label Society. And Zach Bryan, American Heartbreak. Those are $59.99 for Zach Bryan. Stacy wants both Beatles. That's Hard Day's Night, Yellow Submarine. Stacy's going to be listening to some great Beatles music this week. All right. Well, the streak continued. Usually the warm-up bin, we sell at least 3 out of there, and we did. All righty. Let me go grab a crate of new vinyl. There's some new releases. There may be some new restocks. I'm not all for sure what's all in here. I see a lot of individual LPs, so probably a lot of stuff that we haven't had in a while that I bring back to sample with. All right, first is a CD, and I want to tell everybody about the new Morgan Wallen album, and we have people ask at least once a week, why can't they get that on vinyl? It's because it hasn't been released on vinyl, and there's no indication that it will be released on vinyl. I'm assuming, as popular as he is, it will eventually be released on vinyl, but we're talking 36 songs. That's going to have to be put on a 5 LP box set probably, which is going to cost, with new music like this, licensing, probably over $100 retail. So I just don't know if the market will allow that to be pressed on vinyl unless he splits it up like Volume 1, Volume 2 or something. So that's the CD. If anybody wants it on any kind of physical format, because it may never be released on vinyl, I don't know. I feel like if they would do it by now or make some kind of announcement. And that's $19.99 for the CD. 36 songs. I don't know if it's 2 disc. Is it 2 disc? I don't know how they do CDs now with that much music. Surely that's 2 CDs. It feels like it. It certainly feels like it. So $19.99 for that. I ordered one. I figured there might be at least one person or one fan want, because that's the only physical copy you can get of that. So there is no vinyl. Could there be in the future? Possibly. Okay, we have AC/DC High Voltage, $31.99. AC/DC High Voltage, $31.99. Right after this bin, we're going to start our vintage. We got 4 bins of vintage tonight. The first one we're going to do is our check condition bin. And we're going to have another sale tomorrow and Saturday if you're just kind of tuning in. Sturgill Simpson Cutting Grass. This is Volume 1. Sturgill Simpson Cutting Grass Volume 1. That is $31.99. $31.99. Let me reset my feed. I'm making sure I didn't see some stuff over here. Okay, they're just coming in a little late. Earth, Wind & Fire's Greatest Hits. Earth, Wind & Fire is $28.99. Screaming Trees. This is the first waiting list we have of the night. Screaming Trees is $44.99. We had a waiting list from James Bragg and Edward Star Wars. James Bragg and Edward Star Wars. That is Screaming Trees, Uncle Anesthesia. We have one of those left if anybody wants them. Rob Zombie, The Sinister Urge. $28.99 for Rob Zombie, The Sinister Urge. And Black Sabbath Paranoid. $29.99 for Black Sabbath Paranoid. The Morgan Wallen is 2 CDs. Thank you, Craig. Janis Joplin's Greatest Hits. There was a waiting list for this. Ivan Villavenicio. You got the Janis Joplin's Greatest Hits already. There's another one if anybody wants it. AC/DC Power Age. $31.99 for AC/DC Power Age and AC/DC Blow Up Your Video. As you can tell, we almost wiped out our AC/DC bins the other night, and I've restocked almost everything, plus a couple new ones tonight. Dale Cooper wants a Power Age. That's so did Dale Cooper. Restock. The other night, we got wiped out on the Panteras again. This is Far Beyond Driven. Pantera is $34.99 for Far Beyond Driven. This is white and stronger than blue marbled vinyl. Pantera is $34.99. Prince, The Gold Experience. This is on 2LP Gold Vinyl. That was originally a record store day. That is $33.99 for Prince. And Tammy Hinkle, you was on a waiting list for that. The Prince Gold Experience. Tammy Hinkle, you was on a waiting list for that. Coulter Walls, $28.99. Is there something going on with the feed? That's what because I'm like, interesting, I don't see too many comments right now. Let's see here. The only comment that I've seen lately is Dale Cooper commented Power Age, and Dennis Nelson put REF. And if there's anything else, I cannot see them. So, yeah, let me reset it on my phone too. Dennis Nelson, let me know what REF is. It just rebooted. We did that on REN too. Okay. All right. Sometimes you got to reboot stuff. Power Age is the last title. I did too. Okay, Paul Brothers wants the Prince. I'm going to show that one more time if anybody else wants on the waiting list. This is originally a record store day. Prince, the Prince's 1995 album on 2 gold LPs features The Most Beautiful Girl in the World, gold plus 5, or Eyes Hate You, maybe. It's like a little eye symbol. The Gold Experience, that's $33.99. I did see where Paul Brothers wanted that before the feed reset, so that's sold to Paul. And somebody wanted Earth, Wind & Fire. That was Dennis Nelson, right? I don't want to get the Nelsons mixed up. Dennis Nelson on Earth, Wind & Fire's Greatest Hits. Okay, we should be good now. So just in case I missed any claims on anything else, let me go through these titles one more time. There was Coulter Wall, Pantera, AC/DC, Blow Up Your Video, Janis Joplin's Greatest Hits, Black Sabbath, Paranoid, Rob Zombie, Sinister Urge, Screaming Trees, Sturgill Simpson, AC/DC. We do not do Record Store Day. No Record Store Day titles here. That week we will have a sale, as in an on-sale sale, but we do not do new Record Store Day releases. Bon Jovi, Slippery When Wet, $36.99. What happens is they press a billion of something sometimes, like that Prince, and they've got them in stock, and they haven't been able to sell them, and they eventually let people who's not on Record Store Day have them, so that's what happens. Dave Matthews Band, come tomorrow. Dave Matthews Band is $36.99. Dave Matthews Band, come tomorrow. The Screaming Trees, Jason, was $44.99. That's a music on vinyl pressing. Screaming Trees, Jason, is $44.99. And there was two people on that waiting list, James Bragg and Edward Star Wars. Jason McCobb. I got that, I think. Is that who just asked? Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Screaming Trees. James Rayner on Bon Jovi. Everything's kind of not only moving fast, but it's like everything's out of order. James Rayner's first on Bon Jovi. Dennis Nelson, you're second. I'll put you on a waiting list if that's okay for you. XTC, Drums and Wires. XTC is $33.99. That is a 200-gram XTC Drums and Wires, $33.99. And Foo Fighters, The Color and Shape. Foo Fighters, The Color and Shape is $44.99. And Foo Fighters, Greatest Hits. Foo Fighters' Greatest Hits is $44.99. Foo Fighters' Greatest Hits, there was a waiting list. Greg Stone. Greg Stone, I've already got you down for a Foo Fighters' Greatest Hits. If anybody else wants one, let me know. Joe Ives does. Joe Ives wants Colors and Shape. That's so to Joe Ives. If anybody else wants one of those, please let me know. Blackberry Smoke, Like an Arrow. Blackberry Smoke is $36.99. Like an Arrow. Back in stock. Now that's what I call yacht rock. 2LP, blue and white swirl vinyl. Excellent compilation here. Only $29.99. I feel like I've had 3 different prices. I can remember selling this for $26.99, and I think I've sold them for $39.99. Just depends on where they come from, if they're imported or wherever. These 3 are going to be $29.99. Blue and white swirl vinyl. Very popular compilation. Of course, we can't go without mentioning Pablo Cruz, Love Will Find a Way is on here. Great stuff. And Brandy, You're a Fine Girl. Pink Floyd, The Wall is $49.99. Pink Floyd, The Wall, 2LP remaster, $49.99. Have the Gin Blossoms come in. I thought that was last week. We do have more in, but I'm pretty sure that was already filled for last week. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's already time to start selling Christmas albums. Buckle up. This is on Grinch Green Vinyl, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, narrated by Boris Karloff. This has the original narration and then all of the songs like You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. That is $36.99. Mark Jacobs on Yacht Rock. Mark Jacobs on Yacht Rock. That's sold to Mark Jacobs. Metallica, we have black vinyl 72 seasons in stock. Yes. Let's see. William Simmons wants a Grinch and tracks on Yacht Rock. They are right there above you, Eric Fisher. Craig just posted those. Let me know if you need to see those again. Amy Hutchings also wants a Grinch. And so, yeah, there must be a waiting list for Gin Blossoms. So if there is, I've got them. We got like 15 over here. So we don't have those ready yet. I've got 4 crates of new vinyl for tonight. And once again, we've got 4 that we just got done pricing. So we hadn't received this much new vinyl this week than probably in all year. I mean, we've had, let's see, you just want to count crates, 4, 12, 36 after today probably. Counting boxes and crates, of course, pre-sales and all that. So that's what happens. Can you order my sister in June? Kenny Rogers' Life Is Taken song coming out in June. We will write that down. I have not seen that, but I will write that down. Joe Freehouse wants a Metallica 72 seasons. We do have the Metallica purple vinyl on hand. We have not pulled them or tagged them or counted them or anything like that. So that, once again, I said last night, I'm going to officially do that probably on Friday, the actual release day. I don't think they really even want us showing them until Friday. even though I saw where Walmart already had them out. Somebody posted in our group that Walmart had them on the shelf already today, which the label would freak out if they knew that. Not supposed to be having those out yet. Toby Keith, Should Have Been a Cowboy. 25th Anniversary Edition. Toby Keith, Should Have Been a Cowboy, remastered, $26.99. Snoop Dogg, Rhythm and Gangsta, $41.99. And the Cranberries Dreams, $39.99. Cranberries Dreams. That is a greatest hits collection. Yacht Rock is Volume 1. So we got Joe Frias on a Metallica Black Vinyl 72 Seasons. Yacht Rock is number 1. Did you see my last comment? If someone else wants Foo Fighters Greatest Hits, okay. Well, Greg, you just need to let us know if you want to put it back or if you want it. That's up to you. And Susie Breelove wants a Toby Keith, and Sherry Darnell was second on that. Robin Pruitt on Cranberries, and those are all sold. Okay, Steve Miller Band's Greatest Hits is $36.99. There was a waiting list for that. Steve Miller Band's Greatest Hits, $36.99. Jason Daub on Steve Miller Band's Greatest Hits. Greg Stone says, please put back the Foo Fighters Greatest Hits. Steve Miller Band is $36.99. And that was on a waiting list, Tanner. He was on a waiting list for that. So,
I had it.
okay, you already tagged it. Okay, so there we do have an extra Foo Fighters. Well, I guess we got 2 now. We got 2 Foo Fighters Greatest Hits. Duke Genesis, $28.99. I thought that was on colored vinyl, but it may be just a half-speed master. And Otis Redding, The Dock of the Bay. Otis Redding is in mono, 180-gram remaster from Rhino, $31.99. Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, $31.99. AC/DC, Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap, $31.99. Chad, did you see my last comment? I was on the wait list for Gin Blossoms. It's not on my latest, so you can please make sure I have one. I will make sure, Jerry Stone, you get a Gin Blossoms. Sorry, when I'm in the moment selling records, if I usually see a comment that's more than 2 lines, I'm prone to overlook it because I'm like, that's a lot to read. Billy Idol, $33.99. Billy Idol, $33.99. But usually Tanner is also watching comments and he jots stuff down without me actually publicly announcing it. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. I think here's some stray stuff from that flip video, $38.99. Primus, Suck on This. That should be on Cobalt Blue Vinyl. It is. Blue Vinyl, $28.99. AC/DC, Who Made Who? Who Made Who is $31.99. And Luke Combs is $39.99. That's called Growing Up. So that's the album before Getting Old. Well, he's got some strange titles. Very confusing. This one's for you. This one's for you too. Getting Old, Growing Up. What was the other one? What you see is what you get. What you see ain't always what you get. To me, I wouldn't do that. That's like you can't distinguish one album from another. Kelly Gabney on Billy. That's Billy Idol for Kelly Gabney. And let's see here. Let me go through this crate one more time. I'm also going to step to the back and do like we did last night and auction off stuff from the high-end bin. Pull stuff out, reduce it. That's what we did last night. Very successful night doing that. I almost sold half of a high-end bin. Jared Benoit wants AC/DC Who Made Who. So give me about 30 seconds to go find that crate I was going to sell out of tonight. I'll be right back because I don't think we have any new Japanese stuff tonight. Seth is slacking as always. Right, Seth? Dolly Parton Funkos. I forgot we didn't have any of those out yet. We got them now, Tanner said. All right, let me see what I've got in this bin we can auction. Okay. Let's do the Ramones. I bet that perked up some ears. The Ramones, It's Alive. This is a 1979 UK pressing. Gatefold, 1979 UK pressing of the Ramones, It's Alive, original UK inner sleeves, Sire label, very clean record, EX Plus to Near Mint Minus. There's both LPs. We've got it stickered. Evidently, the first time we showed it, it didn't sell. We're going to sell it now. $35 start. The Ramones, It's Alive. That's an original 1979 UK pressing. That's out of the high-end bin. That's now up for auction. All right, so one more time in this crate. We have AC/DC High Voltage. That's their first album in the United States. It was under a different cover, different title. Well, yeah, I guess a different title too in Australia. But that's the first U.S. release, $31.99. Sturgill Simpson Cutting Grass, $31.99. Rob Zombie, The Sinister Urge, $28.99. Black Sabbath Paranoid, $29.99. Janis Joplin's Greatest Hits, $28.99. Great stuff on there. Blow Up Your Video by AC/DC, that's $31.99. Pantera, Far Beyond Driven, that is the colored vinyl. Pantera is $34.99. Coulter Wall, that is self-titled Coulter Wall, $28.99. David Schroeder wants Rob Zombie. I think David actually claimed that earlier when the feed got all wacky. Dave Matthews Band, Come Tomorrow, $36.99. Last copy of Screaming Trees, Uncle Anesthesia, that's music on vinyl, $44.99. And XTC Drums and Wires, $33.99. Susie Breedlove wants a Janis Joplin's Greatest Hits. That's sold to Susie. King's X came in yesterday, Greg. They're all in, and they're on everybody's invoice for this week if you pre-ordered it. So King's X, Gretchen Goes to Nebraska, those are all in. Everybody got one, and we had a couple people claim one last night. David Schroeder wants CW. That's Coulter Wall. That's also sold to David Schroeder. Foo Fighters Greatest Hits. We have 2 copies. I've wore this out, especially disc 1, like some of my favorite. It's like a custom playlist. Some of my favorite Foo Fighter songs back to back. My Hero, Learn to Fly, Times Like These. Great stuff there. $44.99. And by the way, this is like the way that record's cut, it's always like just loud and hot sounding. Very good pressing. Blackberry Smoke, Like an Arrow, is $36.99. Last copy of Now That's What I Call Yacht Rock. That's on color vinyl. Toto Africa, Kenny Loggins, This Is It. Baby, I Love Your Way from Frampton Comes Alive. Chuck Mangione, Little River Band, Brandy, Pablo Cruz, all those yacht rock classics. Pink Floyd, The Wall, $49.99. Snoop Dogg, Rhythm and Gangsta, $41.99. It's got an A on the end of gangster. Steve Miller Band, Greatest Hits, $36.99. And Duke Genesis, $28.99. Otis Redding, surprised that's still there, Sitting on the Dock of Bay. AC/DC, Dirty D's Done Dirt Cheap. Metallica, or excuse me, that's not Metallica. Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. Primus, Suck on This, that's on blue vinyl. And Luke Combs, Growing Up, $39.99. So high bid on the Ramones is $41. Eric Fisher, the Now That's What I Call Alternative, is out of stock or out of print. They hadn't pressed those in a long time. I think I've got them back ordered, but I don't have them, and you can't get them right now. This is Stacy Brown on Snoop Dogg. That's sold to Stacy. Yeah, the Foo Fighters' Greatest Hits sounds amazing. Mike Vandergits on Otis Redding. I did have a Grinch Stole Christmas. We actually may have some in the back on our Christmas wall. We've got 2 cubbies of Christmas records that were left over from last year. I saw that the Grinch, they had pressed some more. They really start preparing for these Christmas albums. I don't know if y'all realize this, but Christmas albums in general, one of the biggest selling things on vinyl. Originally back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and even still today. So they really have to prepare. So let's put the Foo Fighters was $44.99. Jedit wants a Yacht Rock. And let's put down Allison. We'll do like a waiting list for the Grinch, but I'm pretty sure we have a couple on the back wall. I actually thought about pulling some stuff out and putting it on sale. Usually about middle of summer, I kind of clearance all of our Christmas records, and then I just start fresh and reorder them all again. That's usually how I do that. So it's amazing how many Christmas albums sell. Vintage. Y'all know sometimes, one night we had an entire crate of Christmas albums, and half of it was the Elvis Christmas album, the various different pressings, and $10 a pop. We sold every one of them, and we had a waiting list for vintage Christmas Elvis albums. Okay, if anybody wants a Foo Fighters Greatest Hits, let me know. I highly recommend. First bin tonight of vintage is going to be Check Condition Vintage. Check Condition Vintage OG. We have Ultravox, Rage and Eden. That's a VG Plus, $14.99. New vintage arrivals, all check condition. We hadn't bought a collection in like a couple weeks now. This is where we've bought like 30,000 piece collections and 10,000 piece collections in Georgia and Dallas, Texas. And there's this, I told y'all, that's like crate after crate. So we're probably going to start buying some new stuff next week. But there's still plenty of, tonight I'm officially got 2 announcements on what we're going to be selling the next 2 nights. John isn't here tomorrow and Saturday, so everything new for the next 2 nights I'm going to be working on. There is 2 or 3 entire crates of punk and hardcore music that, like I told you the other night, we've never shown. Since that stuff's already ready and priced and we've never shown it, I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. If not, do the rest of it on Saturday. So that's the basis of tomorrow night's show. There'll at least be 2 full crates of punk and hardcore music. There should be some metal in there too. If it is, it's like doom metal, very probably heavy. And then I'm going to start working on, I've pulled out a lot of check condition stuff, even some stuff like Iron Maiden and Overkill. There's the first 2 on the top of the stack that need ultrasonically cleaning and test played. So they're probably like VG Plus records, but they're all going to be auctioned or I'm going to have them in bins. Third thing will be blues. I know where a whole tub of blues records are. I told John I would work on those the next couple nights. So on top of new vinyl, punk and hardcore, check condition, really good titles that's going to be auctioned, and then blues, and then we'll have lots of on-sale stuff. Lots of on-sale stuff. That will be the next couple nights. David Byrne, the Catherine Wheel, VG Plus, $24.99. David Byrne, the Catherine Wheel, VG Plus, $24.99. Nina, 99 Luff Balloons, also known as 99 Red Balloons. That's a VG copy, $14.99. And Davis Manginelli wants a Foo Fighters Greatest Hits. I've got one of those left if anybody else wants one. Quick update on our auction. I've kind of forgot about the Ramones back here. This is an OG 1979 UK of the Ramones. It's alive. EX Plus, near mint minus. Nice jacket too. That is a high bid of $44 with Ryan Anderson, and that's going twice, going 3 times. Marvin Gaye, Midnight Love. That's a VG copy for $19.99. Marvin Gaye, Midnight Love. Elvis Costello, Taking Liberties. That's a VG copy, $12.99. Elvis Costello, Taking Liberties. Gary Newman, Telecon. Gary Newman is a VG copy for $12.99. James C. Jones, first on Marvin Gaye. And I think we found out this week we got 2 different James Jones. This is James C. Jones. He gets Marvin Gaye. The Ramones is now at $45. Craig Thomas is first on Gary Newman. The price on Catherine Wheel, Eric Fisher, was a VG Plus, $24.99. David Byrne from the Talking Heads. Neil Young and Crazy Horse, Rust Never Sleeps. This is a VG Plus, $24.99. Rust Never Sleeps, VG Plus, $24.99. Mississippi, John Hurt. 1928, his first recordings, a VG copy, $14.99. Mississippi, John Hurt. So Ryan Anderson, you're out on the Ramones, and he says he is out for sure. So Fred Carnell has that for $45, going once, going twice. Rat, Dancing Undercover, a VG copy, $19.99. Mike Vandergits, first to Mississippi John Hurt. James C. Jones was second. Doc Smith was third. Elvis Costello, Armed Forces, VG copy, $12.99. Kelly Gabney, first to Rat. Shane Berry, second. David Tate, third. David Schroeder, fourth. Elvis Costello, Imperial Bedroom, a VG copy, $12.99. Jethro Tull, Living in the Past. This is the hardback edition. EX copy, $32.99. That's a 2LP. It's sort of a compilation, but it also has new material on it too. The Beat, Can't Get Used to Losing You, the 1983 remix version. VG Plus, $12.99. Mirror in the Bathroom, so that's a 12-inch single. Final Call on the Ramones at $46. Harry Nilsson, Schmilson in shrink wrap and hype sticker. It says contains poster, and it does. John didn't make a note on the back, but I see it in here. It has the poster. Harry Nilsson, Schmilson with the poster. That's a VG Plus $14.99. John Stevens, first on the beat. Hold on a second. Mike Massey, first on the beat. We had rap. Mike Massey, first to the beat. John Stevens, you were second. Colin Butler, first to Harry Nilsson. Those are all sold. Boomer Story, Rye Cooter. That's a VG Plus $14.99. Boomer Story, Rye Cooter. The Vapors Nuclear Days is a VG copy, $12.99. The Vapors Nuclear Days, VG $12.99. Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits, a VG copy, $14.99. Jimi Hendrix Smash Hits, his hits compilation. Billy Idol, Whiplash Smile, VG on the condition, original inner sleeve, $12.99. Okay, the Ramones is sold to Fred Carnell for $45. Let me see what else I can put up for auction. Let's see, we got a John Prine's Greatest Hits. And let me try this soft machine. It's a music on vinyl pressing, but when I originally priced it, it was not cheap on Discogs, but we're going to reduce it and get it sold to somebody right now. This is music on vinyl, soft machine. This is soft machine 3rd, limited edition, transparent vinyl, manually numbered. They're hype stickers. This is an older one. They don't really word it that way anymore. This is number 612. I'm going to start that for $30. Soft machine, $30. And I might tell you what I have it stickered after the fact. We'll see what it brings. Soft machine is $30. And then we have John Prine, the best of John Prine, original Atlantic inner sleeve, near mint minus copy, very good, nice, clean copy of this. This is John Prine's Greatest Hits, the best of John Prine. $25 start. $25 start on John Prine. Okay, back up to the top. We had Josh Ragland first on Jimi Hendrix. Next comment was Kelly Gabney was first on Billy Idol. Susie Breedlove was second on Billy Idol. And David Schroeder was first on the Vapors. Richard Baker is at 35 on Soft Machine. Fleetwood Mac, that is their first album. EX, $99.99. Yellow Epic label, Fleetwood Mac. That's EX, $99.99. Fleetwood Mac self-titled. That is pre-Buckingham and Nix. And pre-Christine. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. VG Plus $16.99. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Jackson Brown. Neil Young. After the Gold Rush. This is a VG copy. $14.99. VG copy, Neil Young. Everybody, look, I keep on wanting to call that. Everybody knows this is nowhere. Neil Young, After the Gold Rush. B.B. King, Indianola, Mississippi Seeds. I think I'm saying that right. That's in shrink wrap. VG Plus $29.99. VG Plus $29.99. B.B. King, Indianola, Mississippi Seeds. VG Plus $29.99. Eric Clapton, there's one in every crowd. That's an EX copy, $32.99. And Eric Clapton Backless. Backless is a VG Plus $24.99. Okay, back up to the top. So Richard Baker still in at Soft Machine at 35. That's going twice, going 3 times. Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson was first to Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Craig was second. Craig Thomas. Joseph was third. Bob Riger fourth. Calvin fifth. David Tate sixth. Colin seventh. Mike Vandergits first on the B.B. King. Grant Peltzer, you were 8th, I guess, on Fast Times. James C. Jones, you were 2nd on B.B. King. My injured finger is, I still got to go buy one of those things. Robin, you were 9th on Fast Times. Wow, a lot of people wanted that one. Soft Machine is at $38 now. $38 on Soft Machine. $38 on Soft Machine. Now $40. Duke Ellington, Indigos. That's an EX copy, $34.99. Duke Ellington Indigos and Lead Belly. Lead Belly is VG Plus, $19.99. Recorded at the University of Texas, Austin, 1949. Wow, he did a live concert or it was recorded there. I guess I shouldn't say a live concert. Be pretty cool to have been there in the room with it. Either way, that is a VG Plus $19.99. Bob Dylan Street Legal is a VG copy $14.99. And Van Morrison Into the Music. That's a VG Plus $24.99. Mike Vandergits, first on Lead Belly. Mike was first to that. James C. Jones was second. John Stevens back in on the Soft Machine at 42. Michael McDowell, you were third on Lead Belly. Craig was fourth. And Van Morrison, Beautiful Vision, and EX copy, $32.99. $32.99. Robin, you were number 9 on Fast Times. You were number 9 on Fast Times. You might want to consider restarting your connection, re-downloading Facebook. I don't know what you're watching on, your tablet, your phone, desktop, laptop. But sometimes it helps to... Somebody told me this week they uninstalled the Facebook app, and it's been working like beautiful for them. Of course, make sure you know your password and all that, because they'll log you out. Sherry Darnell on Van Morrison. Sherry, there's 2 Van Morrisons in here. Into the Music and Beautiful Vision. Let me know what you want to, which of those 2 you want. We do have a bid now on John Prine. Greg Rogers is at $25 on the Best of John Prine. That's going once, going twice. And Sherry Darnell wants Into the Music. So one more time on this crate. By the way, the Soft Machine, which is a music on vinyl pressing, limited and numbered on red vinyl, that is at $42 with John Stevens. Now $45 with Richard Baker. So that's at $45. John Stevens, you're out. Richard has that for $45. Final call on John Prine, though. Ultravox, Raging Eden. That's a VG Plus $14.99. Nina, 99 Luft Balloons, VG $14.99. Elvis Costello, Taking Liberties, VG $12.99. Yeah, I believe, I think we can get, well, I'll check on Fast Times, Bob. I don't know if we can get that or not, but I'll definitely check on it. David Byrne, The Catherine Wheel, that's a VG Plus $24.99. Neil Young, Rust Never Sleeps, VG Plus $24.99. Ryan Rice wants the Nina. John's out on Soft Machine, so I'm going to end these at the same time. Final call on Soft Machine for $45. Elvis Costello, Armed Forces, VG $12.99. Elvis Costello, Imperial Bedroom, that's a VG $12.99. The Jethro Tull, Living in the Past, EX $32.99. We have Boomer Story, Ry Cooter, VG Plus $14.99. Fleetwood Mac, that's an EX copy, $99.99. Neil Young, After the Gold Rush, VG $14.99. Eric Clapton, There's One in Every Crowd, EX $32.99. Eric Clapton, Backless was a VG Plus $24.99. Duke Ellington, Indigos, EX $34.99. And Bob Dylan, Street Legal, VG $14.99. All right, so Soft Machine is sold to Richard Baker for $45, and the John Prine is sold to Greg Rogers for $25. Those are both sold. Okay, I'm going to put up a new crate of new vinyl and a couple new auctions. I've got new vinyl to go through, and we've got, let's see, where is the new vinyl? Is this stuff you just priced? Where's the stuff that I already priced?
I think it's below it.
Okay.
I think those are ones that
Yes, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this blue crate right here. All right. This is what I'm looking for. We have Hank the Third. This is called, he had to put some cussing in it. D-A-M-N, Right, Rebel Proud. That's $42.99. That's a 2LP blue vinyl. I think this is either the first time on vinyl, or it hadn't been pressed on vinyl in a long time. Hank Williams, we'll call it Rebel Proud. That is on blue vinyl, $42.99. There was a pre-order for that. Jason Byrne, Paul Beal, Brandon Jackson, Lasley King, Susie Breedlove, Jamie Sperlin, Jared Benoit, and James Bragg. Now, the other Hank album, which is called Straight to Hell, we still have that, and before that album was repressed, it was a $200 or $300 album. I've got a couple extras of these. Whenever it first came out, I immediately started putting them on eBay, and we were selling them for like $60, $80, and now I consistently sell one every now and then for $59.99. These are $42.99. Hank the Third. Paul Beal wants one. I have one left if anybody else wants that. Motorhead, Inferno. This is a new release, as in a new reissue. Motorhead, Inferno. That's on orange vinyl. I think this album originally came out in, I don't know what year, but I know it hadn't been pressed on vinyl in a while. That is $44.99. Motorhead has a lot of albums. That one's called Inferno, $44.99. Ryan Anderson wants the Rycooter from the last crate. Let me pull that for Ryan Anderson. Ryan Anderson. Paul Bill says he was on the pre-order. He was, so let's just scratch. Yeah, he was already on the pre-order. So I have two Hank the Thirds still left. So there's Rycooter for that. So Motorhead, Hank the Three. This is a new release. It's pretty much a box set. $119.99. This is music from, it's essentially the soundtrack to 8 Mile. 8 Mile. This is music from and inspired by the motion picture 8 Mile. So the 8 Mile soundtrack, Eminem, this is actually on Eminem's label, Shady Records. That's $119.99. $119.99. So yeah, 50 cents also on here. Exhibit. Let's see here. What's some of the other stuff Doug was telling me about? Nas, Young Z, Gangstar. That's $119.99. Music from and inspired by the motion picture 8 Mile. $119.99. New release from Neil Young. This is Somewhere Under the Rainbow. Neil Young with the Santa Monica Flyers. $49.99. The Tonight's the Night Tour. The Rainbow Theatre, London, England, November 5th, 1973. 14 tracks on 2 LPs. That's $49.99. Neil Young, what a cool cover. Somewhere Over the Rainbow. That is Under the Rainbow. Somewhere Under the Rainbow. That's a new Neil Young release. 2 LP, live Neil Young. We have Stacey Brown wants one of the 8 Mile soundtracks. Those are $119.99. We have 4 of those left. Joe Barrios on Neil Young. That's sold to Joe Barrios, and we have 3 of the Neil Youngs. Bill Withers, this is a new release. They're putting this out now as a Record Store Day Essential, which is some titles that come out the week before Record Store Day. This is a 50th anniversary edition on yellow vinyl. Bill Withers live at Carnegie Hall, $44.99. That's on yellow vinyl. That's a Record Store Day Essential. And we can actually get Record Store Day Essential titles. They ship those to everybody. Neck Deep, Rain in July. This is a 10th anniversary edition on orange vinyl. New release, $28.99. Haven't had this in a while. It's a restock of Testament Low from Music on Vinyl. Those are $49.99. Testament Low, that is $49.99. This is, I tried some new stuff. The Tallest Man on Earth, Henry Street. Limited edition colored vinyl, $28.99. It was some like suggested or top selling stuff for this week. So that's called The Tallest Man on Earth, Henry Street, $28.99. And Florence and the Machine, Dance Fever, live at Madison Square Garden. That's a 20-track double album, live at Madison Square Garden, $56.99. Paul Beal was first on Neck Deep. Mike, I'll put you on a wait list if that's okay for that one. And Woods Felix wants one of the new Neil Youngs. That's sold to Woods Felix. The Neil Young was $49.99. New compilation out this week. 60s British Invasion goes metal. Harder and heavier on red and blue vinyl. This is $28.99. So you have Painted Black, Dee Snider, Twisted Sister, George Lentz, probably on guitar. Mighty Quinn by Mickey Dolenz and John Five. Twist and Shout by Lemmy Kilmister. So yeah, it's some kind of big names on here. Members of AC/DC, King's X, Anthrax. That is a British Invasion metal reimagined type deal. Stormtroopers of Death, 30th Anniversary Edition, 2LP, $31.99. And this is Bleach, which is an anime soundtrack, original soundtrack volume 1 and 2, and that's on translucent blue vinyl, $44.99. Bleach, $44.99. Sherry Darnell wants the Florence and Machine. That's sold to Sherry Darnell. As the Neck Deep, also called History of Bad Decisions. Tanner says he don't see it on there anywhere. Let's see here. Michael McDowell, first on the Harder and Heavier soundtrack. And Ivan also wants one. And it looks like we got to take a waiting list for that. I only got 2 of these. I'm positive I can get more. We'll have them in next week. Michael McDowell got 1. Ivan got 1. We'll put Brandon Jackson down for 1 and John Porter down for 1. Alan Totten gets the Bleach anime soundtrack. And Paul Brothers, you were second on that. Let me know if you're A-OK with a waiting list. So one more time on this crate before I do another crate of new vintage arrivals. I have no auctions going. Let me change that. Let me see what's in this crate here. I have no auctions going. How about a sealed Patti Smith? That sounds interesting. And let's do a Clash Sandinista. Pulling some stuff from the high-end bin that I don't think sold from that Bowling Green collection. The harder and heavier was $28.99 if anybody else wants one. So next up for auction is the Clash Sandinista. This is a 1980 US. It has the book with it. It's a triple LP. We have no condition notes on it. Triple LP, so EX plus, near mint minus. Not a bad jacket whatsoever. That is a $35 start. $35 start on the Clash Sandinista. $35 start. Patti Smith Group Wave. This is a sealed copy. Patti Smith Group Wave. No cutouts, no saw marks. It's a sealed retail copy. And this is also going to be I'll do that for a $30 start. So Patti Smith at a $30 start. Sealed copy. Patti Smith Group Wave. So James, $28.99 if you're on the wait list. Michael says he's going to pass on the harder and heavier. So give it to the next person, which would be Brandon Jackson. So Brandon, you are going to get one tonight. Paul's okay with the Bleach waiting list. 2 bids on Clash, 35, 35, now 40. One more time on this crate. Hank the Third, we'll call that Rebel Proud for abbreviation. $42.99, blue vinyl. We have 1 copy of Motorhead Inferno, $44.99. That's on orange vinyl. 4 copies of the 8 Mile soundtrack left. Those are going to be $119.99. Music from and inspired by 8 Mile, $119.99. Neil Young, Somewhere Under the Rainbow, $49.99. Bill Withers, that's on yellow vinyl, Carnegie Hall, $44.99. Testament, Low, music on vinyl, $49.99. And then Henry Street, The Tallest Man on Earth, that's on colored vinyl, $28.99. And Stormtroopers of Death, $31.99. I don't know a lot about that myself, but it was up there on the charts, or at least what they call their best sellers for that week. So looks like something indie to me, but I don't follow a lot of new music. It's impossible. I'm trying to catch up on all the old stuff. I'm trying to listen to everything from the 60s and 70s first. I can't even get caught up on the we got another check condition bin. Nice. We got another check condition bin. I was like, boy, these are some good titles. And wow. Absolutely. Yeah, let's go through this bin. Probably, from what I'm seeing, not going to be much left of this bin after we go through it. Not going to be much left after this bin after we go through it. Let's go through it. All right, so Mark Robinson is in on the Patti Smith at 30. Ken Crooker said he'll take a copy of Testament. Michael Ling is at 35 on the Patti Smith. Clash is at 47. Gloria wants The Tallest Man on Earth. Gloria is going to buy it. What I'm going to try to do next week is just order like one of a bunch of different stuff, because there's probably some stuff y'all want. Like that Neck Deep, I was like, I know we've sold that stuff before in collections, but that's something I don't know if y'all want or not. And it's not really, the pre-orders I post are very important based on Facebook algorithms, knowing, I try to post stuff that I know for sure that y'all are going to want. Okay, Clash is at $49. The Smith, or not the Smiths, but Patti Smith is at $35. New bin, new check condition stuff. And there's some stuff in here I definitely would auction. It's check condition, so we're just going to let it fly. The Scorpions, Animal Magnetism. This is a VG copy, $14.99. Everything in here is check condition, so I'll be telling you the grade, the title, the price. First come, first serve. If you've never watched before, welcome. Just do what everybody else is doing. Comment whatever you want. If you're first, you've bought it. Scorpions is VG, $14.99. Joni Mitchell, Ladies of the Canyon. That's a VG plus, $14.99. Joni Mitchell, Ladies of the Canyon. Craig Thomas, First of the Scorpions. Ron was second. Rick Wakeman, The Six Wives of Henry VIII. VG Plus, $14.99. Pink Floyd, The Wall, a VG Plus copy, $34.99. Pink Floyd, The Wall, VG Plus copy, $34.99. Joni Mitchell, sold to Gloria. Obscure, yes, tomorrow is going to be, we're going to have some punk, hardcore, possibly obscure metal. Some of those artists, I really don't know what genre you put them under. We're going to have on sale vintage, new vinyl, and then we'll have possibly some of the blues. That's either going to be tomorrow or Saturday or a mixture of both. Kirk Fields was first to the wall. Michael McDowell was second. So far, only thing left is Rick Wakeman. Grateful Dead is a VG minus. It's only $14.99 because it's a VG minus. VG minus, $14.99. That is the Grateful Dead, American Beauty. VG minus, $14.99. Kiss Lick It Up is a VG copy, $14.99. Kiss Lick It Up, VG copy, $14.99. And we have Boz Scaggs, his greatest hits, in shrink wrap with hop sticker, VG Plus, $14.99. Okay, update on our auctions. Ryan Anderson is at $49 on the Clash. Everybody else is out. This is a 1980 USOG. Of course, that's a triple LP, and it comes with this book, insert book. High bid on that is Ryan Anderson at $49, going twice, going three times. Then we have a sealed Patti Smith. Patti Smith is at $35 with Michael Ling. That's going twice, going three times to Michael Ling. It is sealed retail copy. Not, well, I don't know if there was a club, but it's not a club. And there's no punch holes or saw marks. So the wall, we've already pulled those. Alan Totten, first to the Grateful Dead. David Tate, first to Kiss. Jeff Crowell, you were second on Kiss. We have no one yet on Boz Scaggs. Roy Buchanan, that's what I'm here for. Roy Buchanan is a VG Plus, $12.99. Teen Bone Walker, Funky Town, VG Plus, $19.99. Teen Bone Walker, Funky Town, VG Plus, $19.99. Mike Vandergits on Roy Buchanan. And Elmore James, John Brim, Who's Muddy Shoes, VG Plus, $19.99. That is Elmore James and John Brim, Who's Muddy Shoes. Mike Vandergits got the Roy Buchanan. Is that right? Yeah. Mike Vandergits and Roy Buchanan. That's why I saw his name back to back. He's first on both. Roy and Elmore James. Michael Nath second. Ryan Anderson third. Wow, no one yet on T-Bone Walker. Molly Hatchet, self-titled, their first album. This is actually a white label promo, VG Plus, $19.99. White label promo, their first album, with the Frank Frazetta artwork. That is sold to John Porter. All right, and these auctions are also sold. Ryan Anderson, you get the Clash for $49, and Patti Smith Group is sold to Michael Ling for $35. John Porter got the Molly. Mark was second. David Tate third. Calvin Ward fourth. All right, next couple auctions. I'm pulling stuff out of the high-end bin over here. Pink Floyd and Alice Cooper. Can't go wrong with these. We have Alice Cooper, School's Out. 1972 green label. Label. Alice Cooper, School's Out. Unfortunately, there's no panties with this. And if you are like, what the heck is Chad talking about? This album originally came with a pair of panties. They were actually different colors. There's blue and pink and I think white. This is the original label from 1972. School's Out, very clean copy. This is closer to the EX Plus side. Of our EX Plus Near Mint Minus. It does have a couple marks. That's the original plastic baggie it came with. Nice cover, which folds out into a school desk. I don't see too many that's punched out, but it's kind of what they call a gimmick cover. It punches out to a school desk. Usually that's still attached, but it is hard to find those panties. This is just going to be a $25 start. That is a 72 OG, no panties, EX Plus copy. Pink Floyd, Uma Gumo. I don't have condition notes, I don't have pressing notes on it. Let me check the label. I remember when I was keying this record into my collection for the first time, it took me forever to figure this out. There is so many different pressings of Uma Gumo. I can tell you this, it's on the original US. It's on the original US label, but it's definitely not a first press because right here there was a soundtrack to Gigi that was on the front. There was a soundtrack that they had to white out. So I can tell you it's not a first press, but it's definitely an older US pressing of Pink Floyd Uma Guma. I'm also going to start that for $30. $30 on that. Robin, check your email. Check your email on the invoice. Okay, so the last record we tagged was Molly Hatchet. 4 other people wanted it after John Porter. Michael Nath is going to get the T-Bone Walker. Mark Cunningham, he had just claimed it right after you asked the price. ACDC, Alice Cooper, 25, 25, 25, 30, and 30 and 32. Is it Gigi or Gigi? Gigi? How do you say that? Gigi, I guess it's Gigi. Fleetwood Mac self-titled, VG Plus 24.99. I hadn't seen a copy with the GG soundtrack in a long time, and I know y'all seen how many copies. We've probably had 50 copies of Uma Guma the past 365 days. No GGs. Fleetwood Mac VG Plus 24.99. Fleetwood Mac VG Plus 24.99. That is their first album. Say You Love Me, Landslide, Sugar Daddy, Monday Morning, Warm Ways, Rhiannon, Over My Head. That is Fleetwood Mac self-titled, the new lineup. The Fugs. That is a VG minus 19.99. The Fugs, VG minus 19.99. All right, Alice Cooper 30, 35. It is pronounced Gigi. Thank you, Kirk Fields. Alice Cooper 33, 40, 35. John Porter first to Fleetwood Mac. Do you have Alice Cooper Welcome to My Nightmare? I feel like we've shown that a couple times lately. So yes, but I don't know where one's at right now. Mark Robinson still second on Fleetwood Mac. And Colin Butler on the Fugs. That is, so to Colin, David Tate third on Fleetwood Mac. And we have The Eyes of the Beacon Street Union, VG Plus 14.99. The Eyes of the Beacon Street Union, VG Plus 14.99. Grateful Dead is a VG copy, $49.99. VG condition, $49.99. It is a 67 mono, Santa Maria press. Nice, original gold label, mono, Grateful Dead. That's pretty cool, even in VG, $49.99. The Rolling Stones, Goat Head Soup. This is EX, $37.99. Hadn't had a copy of this in a while. Goat Head Soup, that's not bad. EX copy, $37.99 for Goat Head Soup, the Rolling Stones. And what do we have here? The Section, VG Plus, $17.99. The Section, VG Plus, $17.99. Has anybody bid on Pink Floyd yet? I was looking for a $30 bid on Pink Floyd. Any takers? Just make sure I didn't miss anything. There was a lot of bids on Alice Cooper. I don't see any Pink Floyd bids though. Alice Cooper is at $40 with Marshall Bassett. $40 with Marshall Bassett. That is the high bid. Amy Hutchings on Rolling Stones. What's the story behind the panties? I'm not for sure. Is this one of those weird inserts that came with the record? The record is, that's what it was wrapped in when you opened it. Don't know why they put that in there. I don't know the full story on that. More Orphan Than Not. This actually, I've had this album before, but I haven't had one with this press kit. I think that's what this is. Yeah, this is a press kit. VG Plus $19.99. It includes pictures of the band and stickers. More Orphan Than Not. VG Plus $19.99. That is on London Records. More Orphan Than Not with press kit. Paul's out on Alice Cooper, so final call on that for 40, but Paul's in on Pink Floyd at 30. Steppenwolf Live. This is EX $24.99. EX $24.99. Steppenwolf Live. And Nas. That's an EX copy, $34.99. EX $34.99. Craig has just sent us the entire history of Schools Out. There you have it. Elton John, Honky Chateau. That's a VG copy, $14.99. That is on the Uni label, which is the original label. And Dire Straits is a VG Plus, $24.99. Dire Straits is a VG Plus, $24.99. Okay, we got a new bid on Alice Cooper. So I want to remind everybody on what's going on before I call this sold. We have a U.S. press of Pink Floyd, Uma Guma, Very clean copy. Nice cover too. Just at $30 with Paul Brothers. That is going twice, going 3 times. And now the Alice Cooper, which is an EX Plus copy of School's Out, original Green Warner Brothers label. That's at $41 with Joseph Feliciti. The Dire Straits, the hit song is Sultans of Swing is on that one. No Panties. No Panties. Fred Carnell on Steppenwolf. Janis Joplin, Pearl. That's a VG Plus $24.99. VG Plus $24.99. Janis Joplin, I've got them old Cosmic Blues again, Mama. That's a VG Plus $24.99. And Dobie Gray, Loving Arms. Dobie Gray is a VG Plus $14.99 for Dobie Gray. Back-to-back Janis Joplin's, Dire Straits, Dobie Gray, Emmylou Harris, Elite Hotel. That's a VG Plus $19.99. Michael Nath wants Janis Joplin Cosmic. That's sold to Michael Nath. Alice Lowry on Dire Straits. And we have Michael Jackson Off the Wall. That's a VG copy, $12.99. Michael Jackson Off the Wall. Painted Black, The Soulful Strings is a VG Plus $14.99. Painted Black, The Soulful Strings. And Kiss Alive, a VG copy, $29.99. Kiss Alive, VG copy, $29.99. Original Casablanca inner sleeves. That's all I see with it. That's all that I see with it. Let's see. Tracy Poston on Michael Jackson. Colin Butler on Elton John. That has already been... No, it hasn't. Colin Butler on Elton John. Michael McDowell, you are second. You are second on Michael Jackson. David Tate first on Kiss. Robin, technically you have dibs on Dire Straits. You asked what songs were on it. Alice has already claimed it, but technically you have dibs if you want it. I've got to grab me a bottle of water or a Sprite. What do you think, Tanner? Tanner said water. That's the better decision. Hey, this Metallica record still spinning over here. We had the volume turned down. Yes, we've been listening to the 72 Seasons. Seth. Anytime we're listening to music, Seth comes in and turns it down. He's a party pooper. I've never been playing music and Seth doesn't come in and turn down the music. Y'all have to, that's another thing we'll have to let him know he's got issues with. One day I was listening to Rush and he come in and he turned it down and I fired him immediately. I was like, dude, last time I checked, you do not own this place. Okay. David Tate got Kiss Alive. Colin Butler wants the Soulful Strings. Let's see here. Just got back from the 72 Seasons movie. Yeah, I wanted to go see that. Let's see here. Okay, let's wrap up these auctions. I want to make sure. Joseph Feliciti got the Alice Cooper for $41. Joseph got that for $41. And Paul Brothers got Pink Floyd for $30. Those are both sold. Okay. Felicetti. I'm close. Michael Jackson Thriller. This is a VG copy, $14.99. Michael Jackson Thriller, VG, $14.99. Urban Cowboy soundtrack, VG Plus, $14.99. Leonard Skinner, Second Helping, an OG. Not a first press, but not a new copy. Black MCA Rainbow label, VG, $14.99. Chris Vargas, First to Michael Jackson. That's sold to Chris Vargas. This is Iron Maiden, a VG copy, $19.99. Iron Maiden, The Evil That Men Do, Prowler 88, and Charlotte the Harlot 88. That is a VG copy, $19.99. Gary Samuels, first on Led Zeppelin. Josh second. Michael Nath third. Joseph is first on Maiden. Robin does want the Dire Straits. Juventude, you were second on Iron Maiden. Then Marshall, then Jocko, and then Joe. Steppenwolf for ladies only. VG plus $14.99. Jerry Garcia is a VG copy, $19.99. Does have some seam splits. Jerry Garcia, VG copy, $19.99. The Fix, Phantoms. The Fix is a VG copy, $9.99. And we have Monster, the Incredible Jimmy Smith. That's a VG plus, $19.99. Creedence Clearwater Revival, Pendulum, EX copy, $32.99. Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee, Sonny and Brownie, VG plus, $14.99. So the Iron Maiden went to Joseph. Juventude was second, then Marshall, then Jocko Belli, then Joe, then Brian. Angela Leckenting wants JG. JG was Jerry Garcia. That's sold to Angela Leckington. Joseph says give it to Jocko. He already has it. Actually, the next on was Juventude. So Juventude gets the Iron Maiden. Joseph says put it back. Donnie Moore first on the Fix. Ron Stoltz was second. And Colin Butler wants Jimmy Smith Monster. That reminds me of a Monster energy drink. Bo Diddley. Bo Diddley is a lover. This is EX $99.99. It's a 1961 mono. The bottom seam is split about halfway through. It's EX $99.99, 1961 mono. This next record is $150. I want to let that be known before I show it. It is a VG Plus. It is on blue vinyl, and it's a Led Zeppelin bootleg. Led Zeppelin Going to California. Two record set live, September 1971. Led Zeppelin Going to California. 1978 blue vinyl. That is a Led Zeppelin bootleg. Here's what the vinyl looks like. 2 LP or 3 LP? 2 LP. Led Zeppelin Going to California. 1971. $149.99. Zeppelin. Look at Robert. Screaming the blues. Let's see here. Let me find 2 new auctions. I'll do this as long as I can, at least. I got a Bruce Springsteen bootleg in here. There's another higher-end Bo Diddley. Let's put up this Emmylou Harris Mo-Fi. We'll do that. What's up with this Edgar Winter? It's sealed. All right. There's 2 interesting records. Emmylou Harris, Quarter Moon in a 10-cent town. Quarter Moon in a 10-cent town, Emmylou Harris. This is an original Mo-Fi pressing of Emmylou Harris, Quarter Moon in a 10-cent town. There is the vinyl. It is near mint pristine. So this is a Mo-Fi pressing from 1979. The cover does have some wear. It actually has some seam splits. The cover, not in the best of condition. The vinyl is fine. And it's got the original Mo-Fi inner sleeve. That's going to be, I'm going to take out all the stuff and keep it behind the jacket. This is a $20 start. Pull this out of the high-end bin. It's a $20 start. There is Emmylou Harris, Quarter Moon in a 10-cent town. Mo-Fi pressing, $20 start. We have an Edgar Winter Group. Edgar Winter Group, they only come out at night. Edgar Winter Group, they only come out at night. This is a sealed copy. No barcode. It's got a tear in the shrink wrap there. No saw marks, no punch outs. That is Edgar Winter Group. They only come out at night. And that is sealed. And I'll start that at, let's see. We have Edgar Winter and Emmylou Harris. Edgar Winter, make sure we didn't have the same initials. $20 start on that. So $20 start on that as well. Okay, Led Zeppelin is 2 LPs on blue vinyl. That's $149.99. And we got 2 bids on Emmylou Harris. $20 starts on those 2 auctions. I'm just going to read the titles on these one more time. I may tell a couple prices. This is what's left of this new check condition bin. New vintage arrivals. So let me go through these one more time. We have Rick Wakeman, The 6 Wives of Henry VIII, VG plus $14.99. Boz Scaggs Hits is a VG plus $14.99. The Eyes of Beacon Street Union, VG plus $14.99. Grateful Dead is a VG copy, $49.99, 1967 mono, Santa Maria Press. Grateful Dead, VG $49.99. The Section, VG plus $17.99. More Orphan Than Not with the press kit, VG plus $19.99. Nas EX $34.99. Janis Joplin Pearl, VG plus $24.99. Dobie Gray Love and Arms is a VG plus $14.99. Emmylou Harris Elite Hotel, VG plus $19.99. The Urban Cowboys soundtrack, VG plus $14.99. Kind of surprised this is still here. Jimmy Buffett, the Eagles, Dan Fogelberg, Bonnie Raitt, Linda Ronstadt, Bob Seger, Joe Walsh. Steppenwolf, a.k.a. the Shrek album, VG plus $14.99. Creedence Clearwater Revival, EX $32.99. Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee, VG plus $19.99. Bo Diddley is a Lover, EX $99.99. And the Led Zeppelin is a VG plus $149.99. It's VG plus on the vinyl. This is a 2LP Led Zeppelin bootleg, VG plus $149.99. That's Going to California, which was recorded in September of '71. Marshall Bassett wants the Urban Cowboy soundtrack. I was about to say, those usually aren't left behind. So, we got Emmylou Harris and Edgar Winter. This is going to be confusing. Emmylou Harris, 2020, 25. Edgar Winter, 20. Edgar Winter, 25. So both auctions are at $25. Marshall Bassett has Emmylou Harris at 25, and Michael Church has Edgar Winter at 25. Greg Rogers wants the Led Zeppelin, and we have price on Urban Cowboy. John, it just sold to Marshall Bassett. Let me make sure who was first on the Jeff. Jeff may have asked about the Zeppelin. Let's see. David Schroeder, who asked first about this? Jeff did inquire. I was making sure there's been about 3 people ask. Yeah, Jeff said 2 or 3 discs. David Schroeder says price. And then Greg asked the condition. So 3 different questions. I guess I didn't describe it good enough. And Greg says take. And so technically it's Jeff McMaster, David Schroeder, and Greg. Greg for sure wants it if they pass. So that's what's going on with that. These auctions are at $25, going twice, going 3 times. Those are at $25, going twice, going 3 times. I'm going to go grab a crate of new vinyl from tonight. New vinyl, Seth. I've got 6 more after this. The Metallicas are in. The Metallicas are in, but we hadn't counted or tagged or officially marked any of the purples. Like I said, we will officially do that tomorrow night, and then I'll tell everybody who got a black one, and then I'm not going to show them again tonight because I'm probably getting low on black vinyl all of a sudden because we have pre-sold a bunch. Plus, I got a sticky note that long with names from last night and only had 40 black, so we're probably getting pretty close to selling out of those. All right. Let's see here. Final call on those. So new vinyl for tonight. I haven't had this AC/DC in at least a while. Black Ice, $44.99. AC/DC Black Ice. That is a 2LP. That's a fairly new album, $44.99. The Alice in Chains Dirt Redo. The Alice in Chains Dirt Redo is back in. This is the Magnetic Eye recordings. This is a reimagined Alice in Chains Dirt. There was a waiting list for this. We had 3 copies or 5 copies last week. We sold them all. And then we had 2 people on a wait list, Robin Pruitt. Robin Pruitt, I've got you down for one. And Bob Riger, I've got you down for one. I have 1 additional if anybody else wants it. AC/DC sold to Paul Brothers. George Ellis wants the Dirt. If anybody else, please let me know. This is called Dirt Redo, which is a reimagined of Alice in Chains Dirt album, $36.99. Okay, Iron Maiden 2. We have sold a ton of these. Back in stock, Iron Maiden 2, $59.99. This is the soundtrack to Iron Man 2. And like I've always said, one of the, probably about the best AC/DC compilation you can get. There really isn't an AC/DC greatest hits on vinyl. If it is, it's something foreign or bootlegged or something like that. That's a pretty good compilation of AC/DC music. Foil cover, gatefold, and that is an import, $59.99. Billy Squires renewal. Billy Squires is $39.99. Excuse me, not Billy Squires. Billy Strings. Billy Strings. Big difference. That is $39.99. $39.99. And we have Eminem, the Marshall Mathers LP. Marshall Mathers LP is $49.99. Marshall Mathers LP, $49.99. That is Eminem. Okay, let's go ahead and sell these auctions first. Emmylou Harris is sold for $25. The MoFi pressing to Marshall Bassett. And Chris Wood Sr. is going to get Michael Church, where I came up with Chris Wood Sr. Michael Church is going to get the Edgar Winter for $25. Those both just sold for $25. Bo Diddley auction. Yep, I'll put that up in just a second. Susie and Joe Gabriel both want the Iron Man 2 soundtrack. Those are sold to Susie and Joe Gabriel. And Jeff McMaster says he does want the Led Zeppelin bootleg. Jeff had dibs on that one. He says he does want the Led Zeppelin bootleg. So that is sold to Jeff McMaster. I don't know who was second and third on that, or technically, yeah, second, third, and fourth, but Jeff says he does want it. Okay, the Bo Diddley record that's in here, let me figure out, it's one in the high-end bin. I'm going to pull it out and reduce it and see if we can get it sold to somebody, along with a Deep Purple Fireball picture disc. Deep Purple Fireball picture disc. So this is Bo Diddley and Company. It's a 1962 mono. Very nice copy. Check out this spine. We're talking 1962 mono. No seam splits on the bottom. No seam splits on the top. Still got nice glossy cover. I don't think that's the original inner sleeve. It shouldn't be. But yeah, unusually nice vinyl here. Unusually nice vinyl here for this. I'll put that in, if whoever wins this at auction, I'll put that in a new anti-static, and we'll ship that behind the jacket so those seams don't get split. So we have Bo Diddley and Company. I've got it stickered on the back. I'm going to reduce it, hopefully to try to get it sold tonight. $65 start. $65 start. Bo Diddley and Company. What a nice looking record. 62 mono. $65 start on Bo Diddley. Deep Purple Fireball. This is a 1985 UK pressing. 1985 UK pressing. Picture disc of Deep Purple Fireball. This is going to be a $25 start. Deep Purple Fireball picture disc. $25 start. George Ellis needs to put back Alice in Chains Dirt. He's putting back Redo. He's looking for Alice in Chains Dirt. That's why I usually show, if we have them, which I think we have plenty, that's why I usually show these. Let me, I'll take them. Tanner's trying to already rip them out of my hand. George, I've got it. They're $38.99. $38.99. So I'll go ahead and mark you for one if that's what you're wanting. If anybody, this is the actual album here, remastered, $38.99. We've got plenty. We got a whole department full of them. So that means I do have a copy of Redo if anybody wants it. Okay. It is on black vinyl. You have to go to Walmart to get it on color. YouTube Boy. YouTube Boy is $34.99. YouTube Boy is $34.99. Genesis Foxtrot. Foxtrot is a deluxe half-speed master, $29.99. Billy Strings, Me and Dad. Billy Strings, Me and Dad, and that is $39.99. Billy Strings, Me and Dad. Chris Stapleton from Room A Volume 2. From Room A Volume 2 is $33.99. And Bob Marley and the Wailers, Burnin'. And this is one of the Jamaica Tough Gong pressings, $36.99. $36.99 for Bob Marley and the Wailers. AC/DC Stiff Upper Lip. There was a waiting list. I have one extra to sell, $34.99. The waiting list is Darren Wortman, Mike Massey, and Grant Peltzer. Darren Wortman, Mike Massey, and Grant Peltzer. That is $34.99. AC/DC Stiff Upper Lip. Okay, make sure I didn't miss anything. George said yes to the Alice in Chains Dirt. Tanner's already got one pulled for you, George. Thank you. It is on black vinyl. Hopefully Unplugged or Jar of Flies comes out next year. Gloria wants YouTube Boy. That's so to Gloria. Eddie Pasir takes the last AC/DC Stiff Upper Lip. And I'm looking for a $65 start on Bo Diddley and a $25 start on Deep Purple. Just pretend like we're not here. All right, so AC/DC sold to Eddie Pasir. We have the Anthrax Fistful of Metal. This is a 4 LP. This is a, I forgot what color this is. I've sold a bunch of these. Let me know what color this is on. $33.99, but it is on color. It is on color. We have Motley Crue, Crucial Crew. Motley Crue, Crucial Crew. That's a limited edition, 180 gram, all colored vinyl Motley Crue discography box set, at least through Dr. Feelgood. So $179.99, Motley Crue, Crucial Crew box set. The Flamin' Lips, Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots, 20th anniversary 5 LP box set, $119.99. We had a request for this, Gloria Bowers. Gloria, I've already got you down for one. I have one extra to sell. The Flamin' Lips Classic Album, 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition. 56 tracks on 5 LPs. Original album, B-sides, demos, and radio sessions, including rare and unreleased recordings plus poster. $119.99. Ryan Anderson, it doesn't look like anybody's bidding. So, yeah, I'll set this aside. Boy, I kind of hate to sell this one for $65. I know I've got to have it because I've got it stickered on the back. That's such a nice copy. I wouldn't mind to keep that one. But I will sell this for $65, and I'll do a bundle with you on the other one. So let me find the other one, and I'll tell you my best price. But just have to give me a second, okay? And I'll do a discount on the other one if you're buying that one at $65. Randy is at $25 on Deep Purple. I need to do a final call on this. Deep Purple is at $25 with Randy, and that is going twice and going 3 times. Motley Crue is $179.99. So one more time, this is Too Fast for Love, Shout at the Devil, Theater of Pain, Girls, 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 and Dr. Feelgood. And those are all on colored vinyl. They're all on colored splatter vinyl. And it comes in a nice box, leather type box. That's $179.99. Jason Kenton wants the Flamin' Lips box set. Jason, speaking of box sets, if you want the Linkin Park, I believe that was $199.99. Jason, if you want the Super Deluxe Linkin Park. Can I see the back of Anthrax? You can. It has a barcode over the barcode. It's a 4LP 10-inch. Did anybody let me know the color? I guess no one's watching that bought it from me. It's I think it's red and white splatter. But that is a Fistful of Metal and Armed and Dangerous, which I think is bonus tracks, $33.99. Linkin Park sold. So Tanner, that big Linkin Park box, yep, we still got it up here. That one right there, $199.99 to Jason Kenton. I special ordered that to somebody, and I think he has stopped buying from us. He buys $1,000 every week, and then he blocks us, and he takes a break, and then he comes back, and he starts buying in a fury again. So he's kind of got us blocked right now, and we got stuff we're holding for him. But when he comes back, he'll pay all of his bills, and he'll start buying a bunch more. But he has to take breaks. He buys a lot of stuff from us. David Schroeder said sold, and that was on the Anthrax. Yeah, I was asking for the color on this, clear and red. So, all right, so one more time on this bin, then we'll go through another bin of vintage. Let's go ahead and sell the Deep Purple. Randy is the lone bidder on that for $25. Randy is the lone bidder on that for $25. Yes, that was the Meteora box set. We have the standard box set, which is $89.99. We don't have any extras left. And then we have that Super Deluxe we just sold Jason for $199. All right, let me pull a couple new records out of this high-end bin right quick, and we'll put these up for auction. We have a MoFi pressing of Al Jarreau, All Fly Home. Before y'all leave, let me know so I can run something by you before you leave. Al Jarreau, All Fly Home. This is a MoFi pressing. This is from 1979. It is a Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, just like, unfortunately, just like Emmylou Harris. The cover is kind of beat. It's a VG minus. It has seam splits. and some spine damage. The vinyl, though, just what you would expect from MoFi, pristine copy. And, I mean, it's not cheap for what we priced it, and I think what they sell for on Discogs, but I'm going to start that one at $20. Al Jarreau, All Fly Home, MoFi pressing, $20 start. Let's see here. Okay. No, that's not what I'm saying, because I'm putting back his Linkin Park box set, and we're about to put out some other stuff. He only has one invoice and that Linkin Park box set, so no, don't buy $1,000 worth of stuff and block us. We will never let you buy from us again, Tracy. One invoice, since he has a history, we let it slide. Billy Strings is $39.99. Eminem, the Marshall Mathers LP. I've only got one copy of that. And by the way, that doesn't come in too often. The Marshall Mathers LP, $49.99. Alice in Chains is $36.99. That is, let me rephrase that. Alice in Chains Redo, $36.99. U2 Boy is $34.99. And Genesis Foxtrot, $29.99. Genesis Foxtrot. Billy Strings, Me and Dad, is $39.99, and that's on, I may have put the wrong price on that one. I'm going to double check that. I priced that one, and that might be the wrong price. If anybody's interested in this, I'm going to double. I know Renewal was $39, but I may have priced this one. I think this one's a little bit cheaper, $39.99. Chris Stapleton from Room A, Volume 2, $33.99. I've got a couple copies of that. We hadn't had from Volume 2 in a while. And Bob Marley is $36. Surprised we still have these. Bob Marley is $36.99, and we have one Motley Crue box set. One Motley Crue box set. Speaking of box sets, I'm going to do a small discount on one, just to see if we can get at least one sold, and maybe get the other two sold as well. Right, Seth? Seth said correct. Let me show those. They've been lurking over here for a while. So we got Motley Crue, we got Rad on pre-order, and that means only one thing. We should discount this one to see if we can get some interested people. I'm going to do, well, I think it's a fair price already, but I'm going to knock $10 off. There may be some people that's never seen this or don't have it. So $149.99, $149.99. This is Dokken, the Elektra albums. I'll do $10 off. We've had these for right at 3 months now, which isn't very long at all, but I'll go ahead and, since we're on a box set roll tonight, we've already sold several. This is Dokken, the Elektra albums, 83 to 87. So the on-sale price is $149.99. You get Breaking the Chains, Tooth and Nail, Under Lock and Key, and Back for the Attack, which is a 2 LP. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 LPs in the Dokken box set, and that's $149.99. If you've been on the fence about that one, $149.99. Okay, Daniel Cody's at $20 on the Al Jarreau, All Fly Home. And let's see here. And Foxtrot price again. Foxtrot was $29.99. The only thing I'm surprised it's still here is Eminem and the Bob Marley Burnin', which is the limited edition Jamaica pressings that's numbered on the back. So those are $36.99. Final call for AJ, $20. Yes, we have a Bruce Springsteen boot. I will show that in just a second. Bruce Springsteen bootleg. I will show that in just a second. Okay. Let me put up, I claimed M. Oh, he did. James Bragg wants Eminem. I missed that. And Fred wants Foxtrot. Okay, let me pull those. Foxtrot, thank you for the reminders. Foxtrot and Eminem, Marshall Mathers. Yeah, that was quite pricey. I don't know if they've pressed a batch or what. So, let's see here. Fred Carnell, Foxtrot, and James Bragg Eminem. When I come back on that, let me do a new crate of vintage. That was new vinyl, right? Yep, that was new vinyl. Let me do a new crate of vintage. And there's that Bo Diddley album for Ryan. Let me set that aside. And let me flip through this bin. So this is a near mint bin, or EX Plus near mint minus, we should say. Okay, we got some cool stuff in here. Well, I don't know where, I still think John is like got some kind of secret vault back there, like Dexter's Laboratory. He goes and like gets these records from, because I'm not for sure where all these. It's amazing. The Motley Crue was a 5 LP. Their first 5 albums, $179.99. $179.99. Motley Crue. Susie says swap AC/DC for Bob Marley. I think she wants to put back the Iron Man 2 soundtrack and get a Bob Marley Burning instead. I don't know what I just did with those. They're right over here. Okay, Daniel Cody gets Al Jarreau for $20. Daniels are. I labeled Daniel in our group. I can give people tags. I've only handed out a few. Doug gave himself a tag, expert in music and movies. And then I've given Daniel Cody a tag in our group, expert in audiophile pressings, because if I ever have a question on an audiophile pressing, I can ask Daniel Cody. And then I've handed out a John Young was lucky enough to get the Beatles expert. I don't know who else has as much knowledge on Beatles records than he does. That's in our customer base. But that really helps out in our group, because I've had people ask questions and I've seen them answer it before about pressings and stuff like that. So if you're in our group, those guys are very knowledgeable, along with a lot of other people in our group. I think Craig, I think I gave Craig either... I think I gave him just an overall expert tag. So, okay, let me put up those. I'll show that Bruce Springsteen. This is called the Jersey Devil. I need to give Seth a tag, don't I? Some kind of label for the group. This is the Cars Candy-O. This is a Nautilus Super Disc. Up for auction. The Cars Candy-O. This is a Nautilus Super Disc. As you would see most Nautilus Super Discs, this is near mint and pristine. Near mint and pristine. Nautilus Super Disc. The Cars Candy-O. Cars Candy-O. Are you looking for checks?
Yeah.
Check on top of the cabinet. Right down below you, there should be an envelope. Check, yeah. See if they're in there. Yeah, yeah. I've got to mute my mic for 1 second, everybody. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Let's see here. All right. We have Cars Candy-O. This is a $25 start. $25 start. $25 start on that. So, the Jersey Devil. This is a Bruce Springsteen. I think, did I already describe the Cars? Yes, I already described that. The Jersey Devil. So, here's the story on bootlegs. We look them up on PopSci. Sometimes you can get them slipped through eBay and get them sold. It's kind of hard for us to sell them because we really can't sell them anywhere but here. When you used to could sell them a lot on eBay, a lot of them were not cheap whatsoever, but this is called the Jersey Devil. It's a Bruce Springsteen unofficial. Really cool cover there. It's a 2LP live, Bruce Springsteen unofficial, and that is a $35 start. $35 start for that. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. Let's see here. Did I miss anything else? We can hear you. Could you really hear me? Did I not mute my mic? Okay, he's joking. All right. Cars 35, cars 25, cars 25, cars 30, cars 30, cars 35, cars 40. Jersey Devils, a $35 start. I don't know what year. I don't know if we can try to figure that out right quick. They don't have a year or anything. Nothing on the labels. This kind of is glued. No, this is just like a loose flip over the cover, but there's no additional information. No additional information in here. Okay. New arrivals. New arrivals. We have Doug Kershaw, Flip, Flop, and Fly. Doug Kershaw, 1999. Doug Kershaw, Flip, Flop, and Fly, 1999. Time Further Out, the Dave Brubeck Quartet. This is sealed, $29.99. The tracks, Craig, I think that's the wrong one. It says Ragamuffin Gunner. Side 1, Saint in the City, East Street Rap, the East Street Shuffle, New York Serenade, Lost in the Flood, By the People, For the People. Side 3, For You, Slow Version, Night, 10th Avenue Freeze Out, Slow. Does This Bus Stop at 82nd Street? You Can Never Tell. Side 4, You Wear My Ring Around Your Neck, It's My Life, Sha-La-La, Santa Claus Is Coming to Town, It's Gonna Work Out Fine, and Up on the Roof. Now, unless he randomly does that, that tells me Santa Claus Coming to Town sounds like that was around possibly a November, December concert, unless he randomly did that. Okay, Elvis, name of the album is You'll Never Walk Alone. That is $9.99. Elvis is $9.99. And Steve Morse Band, the introduction in shrink wrap of Hop Sticker, former guitarist of the Dregs, $14.99 for Steve Morse Band. Maxwell Rock Sampler. These are always cool. Maxwell Rock Sampler. This is $14.99. $14.99. Okay, so quick update on our auctions, especially this. I got distracted just a moment ago. This is a really nice copy of the Cars Candy O on a Nautilus Super Disc. This is a really nice jacket, near mint minus vinyl, fantastic sounding record. Arm Lazelle, last bid I seen was Arm Lazelle at $45. Then we had Chris Dash. Welcome. You asked how much shipping was, Chris. $7 in limited shipping, and we do that for all week. So we're going to do this again tomorrow and Saturday. $7 for that night too, those nights as well. Andy Wade's at $35 on the Bruce. Tony Shore wants the Steve Morse Band. That's told us Tony Shore. Joe Sloop, you were second on that. And Robin asked the Maxwell songs, and then Michael Nath claimed it. The song track list, Easy Come, Easy Go, Odyssey, What's It All For, Hall & Oates, Genesis, Alan Parsons Project, I'm kind of jumping around, Triumph, Starbuck, It Feels So Good, The Straubs, Deadly Night, Shaka Khan, and some others. So, Robin, let me know if you want that. If not, it's sold to Michael Nath. I'll go ahead and pull that. We have the Allman Brothers. Let me see what pressing this is first. This is a red Polydor reissue. Very clean copy, though. $34.99. Allman Brothers live at the Fillmore. Tony Shore's third on the Maxwell if Robin and Robin passes. So that goes to Michael Nath. Early Cream, the best of Cream. This is $19.99. Eric Clapton, Jack Bruce, and Ginger Baker. A reel popped up on my Instagram today. Cream doing Sunshine of Your Love. Ginger Baker, such a great drummer. He kind of plays like Mitch Miller with Jimi Hendrix. Man, they're just all over the place, but it sounds so good. Lonnie Mack, Strike Like Lightning. Lonnie Mack is sealed, unopened, $24.99. Lonnie Mack, $24.99. And Benny Wallace, Twilight Time. Benny Wallace is $19.99. Benny Wallace, and that is on the Blue Note. Okay, so final call now on the Cars. Arm Lazelle has it for $45. Final call on Bruce Springsteen for $35. And Andrew Schoen wants the Cream. That's sold to Andrew Schoen. The Elvis record was called You'll Never Walk Alone, $9.99. John Fogerty, Center Field, 1999. Boy, that album sold a lot of copies. 1999. Creedence Gold, speaking of John Fogerty, this is $34.99. Hadn't seen this version in a while. The faces fold out like this. Tom Fogerty, Stu Cook, Doug Clifford, and John Fogerty. Proud Mary, Down on the Quarter, Bad Moon Rising. I remember when I used to sell at the Crossville Flea Market, I had a copy of this, and I'd go up there every Saturday and sell records and pocket knives and coins and toys. And I sold this one day, and I remember the guy walking off with it. And I think back then, my record collection was young, and I was like, oh no, why did I just sell that? Why did I just sell that? And Seth, here's another one. Would you like to buy it? Would you like to buy this, Seth? Seth said he'll take it. Never mind. It's sold to Jared DeJagger. That is sold to Jared DeJagger. We have Allman Brothers, Reach for the Sky, 1999. Every time I used to sell a record back then, I was like, oh no, I'm never going to get another copy. Never going to get another copy. And then I eventually would. Cream Goodbye, $34.99. Cream Goodbye, $34.99. Wow, this is a German press, UK press. What do we got going on here? This is a UK press. Cream Goodbye, their last album. They only had 3, $34.99. There's their second album, Wheels of Fire. Well, this has got some good stuff on it. $39.99. White Room. Oh my gosh, that's an RSO reissue, but it is near mint. James Bragg wants Reach for the Sky. Let's go ahead and end these auctions. Arm Lozelle gets the Cars for $45, and Bruce Springsteen gets the Jersey Girl boot for $35. Those are both sold. What's that? Bruce Springsteen gets it? Who? What did I say? Andy Wade gets it. Andy Wade gets it. Bruce watches occasionally. He texted me the other day, and he said he tunes in, but he's not watching tonight, though. So, Paul McCartney tuned in the other night, too. Speaking of them, here's Band on the Run picture disc. Paul McCartney and Wings, Band on the Run picture disc. An original from usually around 1978. Yep, 1978. If y'all were around in 1978 and you was a record consumer, you probably went to your local record shop and there were picture discs everywhere. That was the boom for picture disc, 1978. This is an original, 78 Band on the Run, which this album came out in 72 or 73. 73. Up for auction, $25 start. Band on the Run, $25 start. Band on the Run. This is John Prine's first album. Now, if you want a classic Americana album, this is it. John Prine, self-titled. This originally came out in 1971. This is a 1978 reissue. It's a very clean copy. We've put it as EX, so not near mint minus, but not bad whatsoever. This is a 78 repress. John Prine is a $25 start. $25 start. Angel from Montgomery's on there. So those are new auctions. Okay, anything else? No takers on the Cream albums. The Best of Cream, we sold one of these last night. This is a UK press as well. This is, like I said, the first time I ever listened to Cream was this record here. It kind of changed me. Sunshine of Your Love, Badge, Crossroads, White Room, and Swallow Bar. What a great first track. Of course, Strange Brew, Tales of Brave Ulysses. Those are $34.99. The 69 Warner Reprise Songbook. We had one of these the other night too, $24.99. This is a Warner Brothers compilation. All kinds of great music on here. Everything from Jimi Hendrix to Joni Mitchell and the Everly Brothers to the Fugs and the Beau Brummels and Jethro Tull and Van Morrison and the Kinks. Tony Shore wants the Best of Cream. Amy Beth Hale is at $25 on John Prine. The Beatles featuring Tony Sheridan. The Beatles featuring Tony Sheridan is $24.99. The Beatles featuring Tony Sheridan. What do we have here? This is Ian Dury and the Blockheads, Reasons to be Cheerful Part 3, $9.99. The Rolling Stones 12-inch special disco version of Miss You. That is $29.99. B-side is Faraway Eyes. That is the Rolling Stones, $29.99. Andy Wade's in on John Prine at $28. High bid on Band on the Run picture disc is $26 to Patty Anderson Williams, $26. The Rolling Stones, now here's one I've never seen. If I Was a Dancer, Dance Part 2 from Suckin' in the 70s. This is a promo copy. This is a promo copy. And Dance Instrumental previously unreleased. That is $39.99. John Prine is at $29. Band is at $27. Andy Wade was in first. Kirk Field second. The Yardbirds Pretty Girl. Now, what a weird cover. This has to be some kind of bootleg. $24.99. Koala Records, which is kind of a bootleg. That was Hendersonville. Yeah, Hendersonville. The Yardbirds Pretty Girl. $24.99. Yardbirds Pretty Girl. I don't know a lot about that. Exile is $9.99. Haven't seen an Exile album in a while. Exile self-titled, $9.99. Sherry Darnell wants the Warner Brothers songbook. That's sold to Sherry Darnell. Band on the Run, $28 and now $30. And 3 Ragas, Ravi Shankar. This is on the Capitol label, $19.99. $19.99 for Ravi Shankar. And we have Roxy Music Manifesto, $19.99. Roxy Music Manifesto, $19.99. Paul McCartney and Wings, London Town, in shrink wrap with the poster, $24.99. London Town, $24.99. So Band on the Run's now at $30. Patty's out. So Andy has Band on the Run for $30. And he has John Prine for $29. That is, those are both high bids right now, going once, going twice. Yeah, the Yardbirds, that's from Koala. I've had other stuff on Koala, especially a lot of country records. We had a whole series of Johnny Cash stuff, which makes sense because it was in Hendersonville. It's P.O. Box 1680, and it has a phone number. They still might be in business. I doubt it, though. Sanborn and Associates, Wesley Sanborn, Joe Gibbs, album designer. Well, that's a pretty easy design. He just went to the Rockies and snapped a picture. Can't believe he got credit for that. It's just a stock photo of the Rocky Mountains. Live Piece Toronto, John and Yoko, UK Apple, $29.99. UK Apple, $29.99. UK pressing of that, $29.99. Wings is at $31. Lee A is at $30 on the John Prine, now $35. Andy's out on the Wings. Ravi Shankar, 3 Ragas. I thought that's what we just had, $24.99. We did, but this is a different pressing. This is on the World Pacific label, $24.99. $24.99. John Lennon, Mind Games, $24.99 for Mind Games. Original inner sleeve, that is on the Apple label, $24.99. Brian C. wants the Live London, Live Lennon, Live Piece Toronto. That's sold to Brian C. The Firesign Theater, The Tale of the Giant Rant of Sumatra, $14.99 for Firesign Theater. Firefall, Luna C. Boy, I bet that sounded really country, the way I just said that. Firefall, Luna C, $9.99. And the Firesign Theater, Don't Crush That Dwarf, Hand Me the Pliers. Another Firesign Theater. This has the poster with it, $14.99. Firesign Theater, $14.99. Andy Wade is at 36 on John Prine, and Marshall Bassett is at 40. Marshall Bassett is at 40. Okay, where are we at on the... So Prine has woke up over here. It's now at 40, and the Wings got the 30 and then 31 with Kirk Fields. Band on the Run picture disc, now at 31 with Kirk Fields. And we have Andy Wade out on John Prine. Jesus Christ Superstar. We had a couple people want this the other night. Here's another copy, the original with the booklet program piece with it, $24.99. Jesus Christ Superstar. That was big in the 70s. John Abercrombie, Timeless, with Jan Hammer and Jack DeJohnette. Sounds like some jazz fusion there. $14.99 on the ECM label. John Abercrombie. Another Steve Morse band. No shrink wrap and hype sticker on this one, but it's still a nice copy if you missed out on the last one. $14.99. Heads, Hands, and Feet. Head, Hands, and Feet. $29.99. Heads, Hands, and Feet. Another Steve Morse band. This is called Stand Up. In shrink wrap, $14.99. The original Electra inner sleeve, Steve Morris is $14.99. Final call on the auctions, Marshall's at $40. Final call on Wings at $31. The Ship album, SCRA, SCRA, the Southern Contemporary Rock Assembly, sealed, $19.99. The Southern Contemporary Rock Assembly, the Ship album, $19.99. Elvis Golden Records. It has an Obi on it, but that is not a Japanese pressing. $19.99. $19.99. Elvis Golden Records, 50th Anniversary Edition, $19.99. Tony Shore wants more span. Tony, there's two in here. You can have the introduction. I think you were second on that one earlier. And there's another one in here if you want it as well. You're first to the other one. The other one's called Stand Up. You can have one or both. All right, where did I get to? Elvis Santana Abraxas, $19.99. Gatefold Santana Abraxas. Clean copy, $19.99. $19.99. We have Bette Midler Band, the Rose soundtrack. Not the Bette Midler Band. What did I just say? I was about to say the Bette Midler Band. I had to catch my stuff. Bette Midler is an actress. This is the Rose soundtrack. Excuse me. I don't think Bette Midler had a band. $9.99. Tony Shore wants Morse Band. He wants Stand Up. So you just want Stand Up, or do you want this one too? Who was backup on that one earlier? Or do you want both? Let me know. Cranberry Sauce, Timeless, I'd Like to Buy. What was that? And we definitely have a new buyer. What was that something I've shown? Let's see here. Let me figure out what that was. Maybe you can help me out. I don't see anything with that name on it, unless it's something right in front of me and I'm blind to it. So Cranberry Sauce, let me know on that. We've got, John Abercrombie, right here, Timeless, thank you. If you're a first-time buyer, thank you and welcome. We're going to post a link to our website where you can fill out a form that's going to email us your email address and mailing address. You'll put in your email address, which will automatically send us an email, and you'll fill out your mailing address. There's the link there, shopcollectco.com/contact. Thank you and welcome. $7 in limited shipping. If anybody else is watching for the first time, welcome. Very easy to buy records here, just like that. So I guess Tony just wants Stand Up. Regina Tabor on the Elvis Gold Records, and Leslie Holt wants the Rose soundtrack. Those are all sold. And let's go ahead and end these auctions. Marshall Bassett got John Prine for $40, and Kirk Fields got Band on the Run, Wings picture disc for $31. Very cool. One of my favorite albums there. I could listen to Band on the Run on repeat. I catch myself randomly sometimes just singing it. I think Tanner and Seth will agree. I'm just sometimes randomly start singing The Rain Exploded with a Mighty Crash. It just... Seth said, I don't sound very good, but it's a good song. Yeah, that song just, what do they say, lives in your head rent-free. I mean, just all the time, that Band on the Run, I have to start singing it. It's just in my head. I have to get it out. Elvis, back in Memphis. I got two more auctions here out of the high-end bin. This is an original 1970, the original 1970 Orange Epic label. I'm going to start this at $25. There's a couple Elvis albums that are really popular right now. The Comeback Special, the Live at the International Hotel back in Memphis. The Elvis era after his comeback, starting with his comeback and after, very popular right now. And I think a lot of that has to do with the new movie that came out, which I still need to watch. But very popular, all of the comeback stuff. And of course, his early stuff is so hard to get in good condition. Those will always be collectible. Elvis back in Memphis, $25 start on that. And I think y'all just caught a peek of it. We have an Ozzy Blizzard of Oz. And this is an original 1981. Someone tag Moose. This has the original inner sleeve with it. Blizzard of Oz, I Don't Know, Crazy Train, Goodbye to Romance, Suicide Solution, Mr. Crowley. This is a great album. EX on the vinyl. This is going to be just a $25 start. $25 start on Ozzy, Blizzard of Oz. About a VG Plus cover, probably more so on the VG Plus. Has some ring wear, but just a $25 start on that. $25 start on that. So Ozzy's up for bid, and so is Elvis back in Memphis. I'm not going to sing. Not embarrassed to, but I'm not good. If I was good at singing, I would sing all the time for y'all. Sometimes I remind y'all of songs and I'll kind of dabble in it, but I'm not going to go full vocals here. Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Child is Father to the Man. This is the first Blood, Sweat, and Tears album, 1999. Has a little bit of cover damage down here, but that is 1999. There's Blood, Sweat, and Tears 3, 1999. BST, and Santana. This is Santana, $24.99. $24.99. Soul Sacrifice. I love watching that at Woodstock. Such a great performance. $24.99. Roy Buchanan, You're Not Alone. Roy Buchanan is $19.99. Roy Buchanan, You're Not Alone. And The Best of Phoebe Snow. Also has a little bit of cover damage down here. $9.99 on The Best of Phoebe Snow. And Roy Buchanan, that is self-titled Roy Buchanan, a very clean copy. Red Polydor, $19.99. Okay, so Ozzy, 25, 30, 35, 35, 35, 36, 40, 38, 40, 42, and we have Some Girls. This is let me tell you the price, $74.99, $74.99, unedited cover from Holland on orange vinyl, $74.99. Somebody go ahead and claim it right now on this beautiful Tennessee orange colored vinyl. Some Girls. I think it has an insert with it too. This is in Holland. Yeah, it has an insert with it as well. Complete with insert. Some Girls, an original 78 Holland press on orange vinyl. Now here's the cover I was telling y'all about. See, some of them have colors. The one we had last night that was a first U.S. press, this is all black and white. This is all black and white. And I think they did this later. I don't know how it was released over there, but $74.99, 1978 Holland orange vinyl. This did come out in 78, did it? Yeah, this did come out in 78. Sell that to Philip Regaldo. Tanner, I'll let you put that back in the jacket because you got to be delicate with all the cutouts. That's sold to Philip. Okay, I missed a couple other claims. Michael Nath wants The Best of Phoebe Snow, and Kevin Willis gets the Roy Buchanan. Those are both sold. High bid on Ozzy's at $45. James Gang live in concert, $19.99. Hotel is $9.99 for Hotel. Professor Longhair's New Orleans Piano, Blues Originals Volume 2. Blues Original Volume 2, $34.99. $34.99. Guilty, Jimmy Witherspoon, Eric Burden. I guess that's Eric Burden of the Animals. It's on MGM, so that would make sense. $34.99. James Gang, that's James Gang Live, and that is sold to James Bragg on the James Gang. Brown Sugar starring Clyde King. Not Claude, Clyde. Clyde King, $14.99. Molly Hatchet, Flirting with Disaster. Molly Hatchet is $19.99. Flirting with Disaster. Classic. Does this one have Dreams I'll Never See on it as well? I don't know what song. Molly Hatchet covered the Allman Brothers song, Dreams. Great rendition of that. I don't think it's on this one, though. It's on, let's see. No, it's not on this. Great Southern rock there. Very clean copy, Flirting with Disaster. James Bragg got the James Gang. Tony Shore on Professor. That's sold to Tony. Looks like Michael Nath was second. Craig Weatherford on Hotel. Andrew Schoen on Molly Hatchet. Andrew Schoen on Molly Hatchet. And Sherry Darnell was second on New Orleans. Okay, so I'm going to not sell Ozzy. I'm going to do a final call because there was a lot of bidders. Not many people have set out. An EX copy on the vinyl. The cover is about VG+. Ozzy's at $45 with Joe Gabriel. That's a final call. And if anybody don't want to miss out on the buy it now, I was looking for just a $25 start on Elvis back in Memphis. You can bid now. It's got the original Elvis Company inner sleeve with it. It's really nice condition. The cover is about VG because it does have some splits. Does have some splits right here. So VG minus on the cover for clean vinyl. You can go ahead and bid and guarantee it, or I'll make it a buy it now in just a moment. I'm going to read the titles in this bin one more time. I'm going to read these titles one more time. If you want a price, let me know. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly because I have a whole nother crate of vintage to go through, and I've got 3 more bins of new vinyl to go through. I don't know if I'll get through them all tonight, but I've got 3 more bins to go through, and a lot of it is new stuff that you hadn't seen. We've been through a lot of restock bins tonight. A lot of this, we got new stuff. Doug Kershaw, Time Further Out, that's a sealed copy. Elvis, Almond Brothers is still available. That's not a gatefold. It's not a first press. It's not a second press. It's a red Polydor, but it's a very clean copy, $34.99. Lonnie Mack is sealed. Benny Wallace is on Blue Note. John Fogerty, put me in, coach. That's a UK pressing of Cream Goodbye, which has one of my favorite tracks on it, Badge, which is credited with Eric Clapton and George Harrison. George Harrison wrote that. He let Clapton have it. Cream, Wheels of Fire. Let me show you the gatefold. I wish they would have done the front cover like this. Wow. I'm sure back in around 1968 when you put in some LSD and you open that up, you went into a different dimension. When you was listening to Cream and you looked at that cover, I'm sure somebody did that at some point in time, was on LSD and listening to that album. It had to have happened. Andrew Schoen on Cream Goodbye. That's sold to Andrew. The Beatles featuring Tony Sheridan. There's the millionth copy of that we've had, $24.99. We have Ian Dury, 12-inch single. Two Stones, 12-inch singles. We have Exile, self-titled. Roxy Music Manifesto. Ravi Shankar, 3 Ragas. Paul McCartney, London Town. The Yardbirds, Pretty Girl. Ravi Shankar again. John Lennon, Mind Games. The Firesign Theater. Firefall. Firesign Theater. Jesus Christ Superstar. I wish I would have known who was backup on that, but there's another one. Heads, Hands, and Feet. The Ship album, SCRA. Santana Abraxas is still available. Steve Morse Band is still available. Somebody was backup on that earlier too. Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Blood, Sweat, and Tears 3. Santana self-titled. Roy Buchanan. I think that's the only Roy Buchanan album left tonight. That's a cool cover too. Looks like an astronaut looking at a guitar in space. That is $19.99. That's called You're Not Alone. Guilty, and Brown Sugar, Clyde King. Okay, let's end these auctions. It's been a while. Joe Gabriel gets to Ozzy for $45. If anybody wants Elvis, it's a buy it now for $25. Buy it now for Elvis is $25 back in Memphis. Let me get back to where I was. We got Andrew showing put in some LSD. I guess I meant take some LSD or whatever you did. I guess you put it on your tongue. I've never took LSD, so I wouldn't know. Cranberry Sauce on Wheels of Fire. And Colin Butler on SCRA. This show has all of a sudden not become PG anymore. Colin, this is so obscure, I have to take your $15 offer. So sell that to Colin Butler for $15. Confirm Wheels of Fire is UK pressing. I have, let's see here. Yes, that was a, let me make sure on that. Manufactured polygram. This was a, no, Wheels of Fire was not this was an RSO reissue. The Goodbye was that. Who claimed this though? Cranberry did. Yes, so it's not a UK. That is an RSO repress of that. Let me know if you still want it. That's sold to Colin for $15. Lonnie Mack has Stevie Ray Vaughan on it. Wow, that's a good thing to know. That probably just sold that record. Where is that? Lonnie Mack has Stevie Ray Vaughan on it. There'll be somebody all over that now. Wow, there he is. Did not know that. Well, we can consider that record sold now. Let's just see who gets it. Thank you, 10 cent. Wheels of Fire is $39.99. Philip Regaldo gets the Elvis. That was the buy it now for $25. Drop LSD. That's what I was looking for, Randy. Thank you. Drop LSD. Thank you. The Santana Abraxas was just $19.99. It is a repress label, but it's a very clean copy. Very clean copy. Abraxas, $19.99. I have a feeling Gloria is going to want that. We'll lay it over here in pending. The Lonnie Mack was sealed, $24.99. Sealed, $24.99. James Bragg on Santana self-titled, so that's sold to James Bragg. Gloria is probably going to end up with that one if she says yes. That's for sure sold to James Bragg. Put back Wheels of Fire. You Pray, I Like You if it's not sold. Okay, so UK Goodbye is already sold, so bring back Wheels of Fire. I may have misspoke on that one, but Joe Ives says he'll... Joe Ives, this is still available if you want it. This is still available if you want it. Cream Wheels of Fire, this is still available if you want it. Gloria said she will take Abraxas. Lonnie Mack is sold to Michael Nath. Joe, that's the only... He says he wants it. Okay, so Cranberry, put that back. That's sold to Joe. And I don't think I've missed anything else. 10C, thanks. Yes, thank you, 10C. I think you're a new viewer. Thank you for the informational bit. We encourage informational bits, especially if it has anything to do with Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'd say he's one of our most popular, hottest. I've got a lot of new stuff with him because I think I've sold so many. Everybody's made the rounds on it. I need to go. I do have some music on vinyl pressings over there, though I hadn't shown in a while. The Clyde Price Brown Sugar featuring Clyde King is $14.99. It's on the Chelsea label. It's got a promo strip, but it's not a promo label. $14.99. All right. Let's see here. I've already been through these twice now. I got more new stuff to show. We can go back through those later. But right now, let's go bring out a new crate. Colin Butler said sold. Thank you, Colin. All right, so here's the schedule for the rest of the night. It's 9:17. If we take a break, it's going to be at 10 or 10:30, so we got a lot more selling to do. If we do take a break, it's at 10 or 10:30, which we probably will. The schedule for the rest of the night, I've got new arrivals for at least the next hour. And then when we come back, a lot of y'all don't get on for part 2. Last night, we went through a half-off bin, a new half-off bin. Over here, see these crates? This is recent stuff that's been put out. I picked out a random half-off bin of stuff from just like 3 weeks ago, and we did the whole bin half off. There was only about 5 or 7 records left. That's why you need to come back for part 2. We'll be doing that again tonight. I'm going to pull vintage half off, and we'll might even do some buy it now best offer. But if you can stay awake, please come back for part 2. Let me slide by you here. Let me figure out the next bin of new vinyl we got to go through. I know the price on that, but we won't put it in here. Wallflowers. I wish I could show that waiting list right quick. I'll show them anyway. Yeah, this is a great crate of new vinyl. This is some stuff we've probably had before, but we haven't had it in a while. So, and then there's an album in here. When I show it, I know we have a waiting list for. I haven't pulled them, but I know I have extras if anybody else wants one. So, all right, so new vinyl, very quickly. A new Talking Heads album is in stock. A new Talking Heads album. This is more songs about buildings and food, $31.99. Take Me to the River, one of the hit songs off that. Talking Heads is $31.99 if you don't have that one. Bob Seger's Greatest Hits. Now, I know I haven't had this in a while. I should have ordered more than one, but here is Bob Seger's Greatest Hits. It's on 2 LPs. All of the classic stuff. Roll Me Away, Night Moves, Turn the Page, Against the Wind, Main Street, Fire Inside, Hollywood Nights. I know I'm going to need more, but there's Seger's Greatest Hits, $36.99. That's on 2 LPs. Breaking Benjamin, Ember. Breaking Benjamin is $29.99. Breaking Benjamin, Ember. I don't think I've ever had that before. A restock of David Bowie's Lambert soundtrack, which is getting harder and harder to find. We had a Japanese press one night that brought over $100, I think. And I haven't seen a U.S. original in quite some time. That's $33.99. Nina Simone. I kind of seeing her stuff trending now. One of my friends sent me a link to a song he was listening to. And I just ordered some because they were up in like the bestseller. So Nina Simone stuff has always sold well, but I guess she's making the rounds again. $31.99. And Maroon 5 Songs About Jane. Maroon 5 is $36.99. $36.99. James Rayner, first of the only Bob Seger we have. I'm going to take a waiting list for this if anybody else wants one. If you're okay with a waiting list, let me know. They'll be in next week for next week's invoice. Jared DeJagger is first on Breaking Benjamin, Ember. I've only got one copy. Clay, I'll put you on a waiting list if that's okay. And Tim Holloway on Seeger. Netflix stock on Nina Simone. That is why. If they do any kind of documentary on anything where, especially the younger generation, because the friend who sent it to me, he's the exact same age as me. That tells me there's probably some kind of movie or documentary about that person. Maroon 5, sold to Andrew Schoen. A lot of these I've only got one copy of, and I'll take waiting list for the next week. So if I see that we need 3 Bob Segers, I'll probably order like 6 because that tells me it's a good seller. But I try not to get stocked on new vinyl. Y'all would not believe how much money our business has tied up in this new vinyl. We definitely sell a lot of it, but we have to be careful with inventory control. So if you get bummed out on the waiting list, sorry, but a lot of things are experiments. You see how much stuff we got around here? Well, there's 2 more. There's 2 bins behind me, then 2 more bins. Then we have 6 bins over here. Then we have an entire section, and then we have an entire back wall. And then we've got like 500 copies of Warrants albums right now. So that's why we do that. That's why we do that. David Eberly on the Bob Seger waiting list. Clay Moore on the Breaking Benjamin waiting list. Aaron Jolly on the Bob Seger waiting list, and Nina Simone. So Nina is $31.99. We have Eminem Curtain Call. This is Eminem's greatest hits, $44.99. $44.99 for Eminem Curtain Call. That's his hits comp. Violent Femmes, that's the Craft. We've sold a bunch of these. Great sound and pressing, 35th anniversary issue. Violent Femmes is $36.99. Hall & Oates, this is Rock and Roll Soul Part 1. This is Hall & Oates' greatest hits. This was a replica of, or not a replica, a reissue of an OG record that came out. They have a lot of different hits comps. I like this one. It has the best songs on one disc, especially, Sarah Smile, She's Gone, Rich Girl. To me, that's like the best stuff, all consecutively on one side. $28.99 for Hall & Oates' greatest hits. Cage the Elephant, Tell Me I'm Pretty. Somebody a couple days ago asked for Cage the Elephant. We got several tonight. This is Cage the Elephant, Tell Me I'm Pretty. I saw them open up for Metallica in Atlanta. Metallica, it was Cage the Elephant and Greta Van Fleet. And I'm telling you, Cage the Elephant should have came on first, then Greta Van Fleet, then Metallica. I don't know why they had them come out after Greta Van Fleet, because the flow of the music just wasn't right. But Queens of the Stone Age, Era Vulgaris, that is $36.99. Queens of the Stone Age, Era Vulgaris, and another Cage the Elephant. This is called, that's self-titled. Some of their stuff has come back into stock. That's why I'm glad somebody asked for it. That is $33.99 for Cage the Elephant. Okay, so James Bragg wants the Eminem Curtain Call. That's sold to James Bragg. Kelly Lafotte on, Kelly on Hall & Oates. Eric Fisher was first to this Cage the Elephant. Eric Fisher first to this Cage the Elephant. Mitchell wants on the Hall & Oates waiting list. Sure thing. Mitchell Thomas on Hall & Oates rock and roll wait list. Sherry Darnell, you were second on Cage. And now we got a problem because I showed back-to-back Cage the Elephant. The second one. That's what I figured. So Eric is the one I'm not sure about. Eric, you've got dibs on this one if you want it. Eric Fisher. Or let me know if you wanted the other one. Tell Me I'm Pretty. This is self-titled. If you wanted Eric, that's yours. We'll figure out who wants that. Jerry Stone on Nina Simone. That's sold to Jerry Stone. Jerry DeJagger on Queens of the Stone Age. Matthew Christ, I've only got one copy of that. Let me know if you want on a waiting list. Jeff Dedman was possibly second. He is. So he said he wants Cage, this one here. Sherry was first on the first one. And your comment fell around where I'm not for sure. So this one sold to Eric. Jeff Dedman, you're second. And Jared, I got you for Queens of Stone Age. Matthew was second. Aaron Jolly also wants on the Hall & Oates waiting list. All right, I've got several more really popular stuff like that coming up, which is NWA, Straight Outta Compton, $36.99. $36.99. Don't play that around your parents. NWA, Straight Outta Compton. Another Queens of the Stone Age. This is called Rated R, $36.99. Queens of the Stone Age, Rated R, $36.99. And System of a Down, Hypnotize. Hypnotize. They got Mesmerize, Hypnotize. That one is Hypnotize, $28.99. And Madonna, the Immaculate Collection. That is a Madonna's Greatest Hits. Madonna's Greatest Hits. That's 2LP, $44.99. $44.99. Joe Gabriel on NWA. And George Ellis first on Queens of the Stone Age, Rated R. Matthew, you were second on that. Matthew, I'm going to have to put you on a waiting list for a couple Queens of the Stone Age if that's okay. Jerry Stone third on that. System of a Down, Madonna, Peter Tosh, Legalize It. Peter Tosh is $28.99. And here's another Cage the Elephant. Mellophobia, $28.99 on that cage. Now, like I said, I have a waiting list for this. I might try to pull it up right quick, but I'm going to go ahead and show it because I know I've got several and more on the way. The Wallflowers is back in stock. 20th anniversary, first time on vinyl, 2LP, $34.99 for the Wallflowers. This is Bob Dylan's son, his band, $34.99. $34.99. Okay, so Jerry was on the waiting list for Queens of the Stone Age rated R, along with Matthew Christ. Preston Roger first on this Cage the Elephant. Chris Kirkley was second. Tim Tolbert, The Violent Films, is on Craft. It is 180 gram, and that's a great sounding record, $36.99. $36.99 on that, Tim, if you want it. And if my laptop is handy, we can pull up that Wallflowers waiting list. If you know you're not on the waiting list, let me know, and I have a couple. Let me go do that right quick, because I have a couple more behind the counter here. Those have been coming in waves, and I've been holding them until we have them all together. So here's 2 more copies. We had 2 come in, and I knew that wasn't enough, and so I've kind of held these since last week until we can get some more. So let me do this live. I can do it in like 5 seconds. All I got to do is type in the word Wallflowers and hit search. And, oh, there's several. I may not have any extra. Yeah, I knew there were several. Okay, so how many copies do I have? I got 2, 4, 6, 8. I got 8 copies, and how many people is on this wait list? 9. That's not good. So I'll show it again. I know they just shipped more to me. That's why I said I have more on the way. But all these are already sold. These are all sold. So I don't have any extra to tag tonight, but I know I have more on the way. So these are $34.99. The waiting list, I'm going to announce this live. Heather Perry and Josh Ragland and Joe Valente and James Bragg and Jerry Stone and David Schroeder and Susie Breedlove and Ron Phillips, and that's it. Fred Carnell was the last name, and Fred, so you're now top of the waiting list. But let me keep that saved for Tanner. So that's Heather Perry, Josh Ragland, Joe Valente, James Bragg, Jerry Stone, David Schroeder, Susie Breedlove, Ron Phillips. And Fred, you're now top of the waiting list. If anybody else wants one of those right now, just comment that you want one, and you'll be back on that waiting list like everybody else. Wallflowers. And that's a 20th anniversary 2LP for $34.99. Okay, so Andrew Schoen, he will be on a waiting list. James Bragg, you've already got one. Tim Tolbert wants the Violent Films, so that's for Tim Tolbert. He said he is going to claim that. Eric, I don't have a Wallflowers to tag tonight, so let me know if you still want to put back Yacht Rock. If not, I'll just leave your name on it because I don't have any extras. John Miller on the Wallflowers waiting list. So is Paul Brothers and Eric Fisher. Okay. The Odyssey and Oracle by the Zombies, another Craft pressing. That's $31.99. Includes the #1 hit, Time of the Season. That song is timeless. Time of the Season is timeless. To me, it's just like, it never gets old. How old is that now? 50, 60 years old? 1968. So yeah, I mean, incredible. All right, and a restock of Lynyrd Skynyrd Street Survivors. Lynyrd Skynyrd Street Survivors is $34.99. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Lynyrd Skynyrd Street Survivors. Tony Shore wants the Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle. And Jerry Garcia, I got these back in stock. They limited to 6,000. They was initially allocated, and then we got the rest of our order. And I think they're all gone. They sold all 6,000. Hot Pink Vinyl, Jerry Garcia's 3rd solo album, $29.99. $29.99, Jerry Garcia. Okay. I knew that bin would be popular. That was a lot of stuff we haven't had in a long time, and stuff that's come back recently into stock. We have still got all the Talking Heads. This is more songs about buildings and food. This and Talking Heads 77 are the only Talking Heads albums that are available. $31.99. Brian Hummel on Jerry Garcia, and so is James Bragg. Those are both sold. Lambert is $33.99. System of a Down, Hypnotized, $28.99. That's Madonna Immaculate Collection, which is essentially a greatest hits, $44.99. Peter Tosh, Legalize It, $28.99. And yes, this is the rare band cover that is worth thousands of dollars. $34.99. Have you shown Iron Maiden, Matter of Life and Death? I have not. There is one shown from a flip video, and I do need to show that so I can take a waiting list. This recently came back into stock. I don't know if y'all watched my flip video, but I had one in there, and somebody else claimed it, but I have one extra, Jerry. So I'll go ahead and tag you for that. This came back in stock. A Matter of Life and Death. I hadn't had that in a long time. Sell that to Jerry Stone. If anybody else wants on that waiting list, let me know. $49.99. And Matthew Christ wants the Lambert soundtrack. That's sold to Matthew Christ. That is Lambert soundtrack. So, Leonard Skinner, Peter Tosh, Madonna, System of a Down, and Talking Heads. Somebody else claimed the other one. We had one in the flip video. Someone claimed that one. All right, I'm going to go through our last bin of new vintage arrivals, and then I've got more new vinyl, and we'll see how far we go. We'll see how far we get before we have to take a break, which is at least going to be another 30 minutes or hour, so I hope you stick with me. This is a completely full bin. Boy, he's got a lot of stuff in here. Let me flip through it right quick and see what we all have, what we have in here. I see all kinds of different stuff. I'm seeing, so far, first few, I think we've covered all genres except rap. So, let me set that out. Wow. Interesting. Aha. Okay. Interesting. Let me mix these up. We got back-to-back of a very popular artist. Don't want that happening. Don't want to let anybody get too lucky. Alrighty. Back-to-back Johnny Cash. Might mix those up. Alrighty. Alright, I got a Black Sabbath album, which would have been the first. This would have been the first, technically the first record in the bin, but we're going to put it up for auction. This is Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, which I believe is the first Sabbath album that wasn't on a green Warner Brothers label. This is the first one that used the Burbank or Oasis, the palm tree label, whatever you want to call it. I call it the Oasis. It's kind of like a, palm tree Oasis. Very clean copy, which is unusual. The cover is about how you normally see the covers, about a VG. It's not split, but it definitely has some chipping, and I think the bottom seam has come unglued, which you can repair that. You can repair a seam with glue, and it doesn't really, don't ever put tape on them. Don't ever do that. But this also has the lyric insert, which I don't see with too many copies. Great stuff here. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Killing Yourself to Live, Spiral Architect. $35 start on the Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. I don't have the matrix to tell you exactly what pressing, but it could be a first. So that's a $35 start on Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. And let me see what else I've got in our high-end bin. We're doing Black Sabbath. It only makes sense to do Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin, the song remains the same. This is an EX copy. EX on Led Zeppelin, the song remains the same. We're going to put this up for a $25 start. The song remains the same, Led Zeppelin. So Zeppelin and Sabbath up for bid. What a duo. That's some of my favorites. There's no telling how many times I've listened to the Song Remains the Same soundtrack and watched it. That's like my childhood. Okay. New vintage arrivals. There's a bunch in here. Duke Ellington's Jazz Violin Session. Duke Ellington's Jazz Violin Session. Promo copy. It's got a promo sticker, original Atlantic inner sleeve. That is a pristine looking copy. $19.99. Duke Ellington's Jazz Session. Johnny Cash, Look at Them Beans. Johnny Cash, Look at Them Beans. This is a white label promo. $24.99 for Johnny Cash, Look at Them Beans. Shepherd Michael, first on Duke Ellington. Albert King, Masterworks. $29.99. Albert King, Masterworks. 2LP, pristine. Tony Shore, you were second on Duke Ellington. Shepard Michael wants Johnny Cash. Look at those beans. Shepard back-to-back on those. Nat King Cole Story, Volume 1, his all-time great performances. Nat King Cole is $9.99. Shepard Michael has come in and thrown a no-hitter. He has got the first 3 records all in a row. He gets Duke Ellington, Johnny Cash, and Albert King. Tony Shore is at 37 on the Black Sabbath. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. I'm telling you, this is a nice copy on the vinyl compared to the way they normally exist in population. And Led Zeppelin is just a $25 start. No bids yet. Song remains the same. The Sammy Davis Jr. Show with surprise guest stars. This is an original on the Reprise label. Mint. Tricolor Steamboat in the original baggie that it came with. This record may have never originally been sealed. I don't know if y'all know this, but some records didn't come sealed. The vinyl came sealed in a poly bag. See how this is perforated? A lot of Reprise, I think some early Columbia records was like that too. The actual record was not sealed, just the inner baggie. Sammy Davis Jr. is $9.99. Still got Nat King Cole. Sammy Davis Jr., I've Gotta Be Me. Sammy Davis is $9.99. Back-to-back Sammy Davis. And Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash is $9.99. This is a self-titled. It's Harmony. It's a compilation. 9-Pound Hammer, Long Black Veil, etc., etc. Final call on Black Sabbath for 37, and Led Zeppelin's now at 26 with Gloria. Sammy Davis Jr., Closest of Friends, $9.99. Sammy Davis Jr. Shepard Michael, first to Johnny Cash. Juventude's at 30 on Led Zeppelin. Up in Duke's Workshop, Duke Ellington and his orchestra on the Pablo label, $19.99 on Duke Ellington. Count Basie and the Mills Brothers, the Board of Directors. Count Basie is $9.99. No buck. We had a Buck Owens last night. No one bought it. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, Volume 2. This has got some of his great stuff on it, like I Second That Emotion and The Tracks of My Tears. $19.99 on Smokey Robinson. So Volume 2, to me, has his best stuff on it. That's a Motown. John Lee Hooker, Lonesome Moon. This is a Jazz Heritage Series. John Lee Hooker, $19.99. $19.99 for John Lee Hooker. Where is Doc tonight? I don't know. He was on earlier. He may be waiting for the half-off stuff. Let's see here. Shepard Michael on SR, which is Smokey Robinson. Led Zeppelin's now at 32. Michael Nath first to John Lee Hooker. Chris DeMoss, you were second. All right. I hate to do it, but we got to sell the Black Sabbath to Tony Shore for $37. Led Zeppelin still getting bids. Gloria is now the high bidder at 32. KC Jazz with Count Basie, recorded live, 1965. This is $39.99. $39.99. That's a WDAF Radio Presents Kansas City Jazz Count Basie. It's got a really cool cover with it. That is $39.99. Never seen that before. Juventude's at 33 on Led Zeppelin. Eric Clapton, 461 Ocean Boulevard. Eric Clapton is $34.99. 461 Ocean Boulevard. John Lennon, Shaved Fish. John Lennon is $24.99. John Lennon Shaved Fish, $24.99. I'm Ready, Muddy Waters. This is $29.99. I'm Ready, Muddy Waters. $29.99 on that. Stuff is $19.99. Stuff. That is $19.99 on Stuff. John had some of these. He told me he'd found a pocket of Blues and Muddy Waters, not separate from the ones I was telling you about, so he's put some of those in here tonight. What do we have here? David Wright. What a weird, is there anything on the label? It says Yin Yang on the label. David Wright Original Home Band. That is $39.99. Kelly is said 461. 461. That is Eric Clapton. Muddy Waters, Michael Nath. And Tanner, that one was $29.99. Gloria's out on Led Zeppelin, and Chris Kirkley was second on Muddy Waters. The Moody Blues, Caught Live plus 5. Moody Blues is $19.99. Caught Live plus 5, $19.99. Will and the Bushmen. This is sealed, $19.99. Will and the Bushmen. Name of the album's Gawk, maybe? Not for sure, $19.99. Doug and the Slugs, Wrap It, $9.99. And Roadie is $12.99. This is a, looks like an abbreviated version. Usually this is a 2 LP. This looks like a single LP, like sampler. $12.99. Steve's back in on Song Remains the Same at 35. The Best of the Lovin' Spoonful, and it has the photos, which I've only ever seen a couple times. One time I had them, and they were autographed by John Sebastian. The Best of Lovin' Spoonful. We sold that at auction here. $19.99. Do You Believe in Magic, which I think is another timeless song. $19.99. The Best of the Lovin' Spoonful. The Best of the Beach Boys, Volume 3. $19.99. This one has Good Vibrations on it, and God Only Knows, some stuff off Pet Sounds. $19.99. The Cool Sounds of Albert Collins. Albert Collins is $24.99. Cool Sounds of Albert Collins. Beach Boys Volume 3, Albert Collins. Paul McCartney, Venus and Mars. Looks like it's got some of the inserts with it. It does have all the inserts. Paul McCartney, Venus and Mars, $29.99. Michael Nath, First to Albert King. So high bid on Led Zeppelin's $35. Juventude, let me know if you're in or out. Steve Botsford has that for $35. Chris DeMoss, second on Albert King. And the Beach Boys is sold to John Ambrosic. Let me take a water break and let me put up a new auction. We've got Sam Cooke. This is a one-night stand live at the Harlem Square Club. Sam Cooke. And this is a Legacy Vinyl remaster. This is from that Murfreesboro collection. It was not cheap on Discogs when I first looked it up. We're going to sell it to somebody tonight at auction. Just a $25 start. I listened to it. Sounds great. Chain Gang, Cupid, Twisting the Night Away, Bring It Back Home to Me, Having a Party. That's a $25 start. It's a 180-gram Legacy Vinyl remaster audio file. That is a $25 start. Shepherd Michael wants SC. That's Sam Cooke. That's up for auction. He's in at $25. Juventude's out on Led Zeppelin, so final call for that, $35. The Exotic Sitar and Sarod of Ravi Shankar, Sitar. That's on Capitol, recorded in India. Boy, that's a wild cover. That is $19.99. Tripped out cover on that. Psychedelic, $19.99. Doug Kershaw, Swamp Grass. Doug Kershaw is $19.99. Roseanne Cash, 7-Year Ache. By far, or definitely one of her biggest songs. $9.99. Hello Dolly, Louis Armstrong, $19.99. That's an original on the Cap label. $19.99. $19.99. And George Harrison, Dark Horse. This is the Capitol repress with the alternate cover, which is the back cover of the original. $24.99. Sam Cooke, 25, 28, 26, 28. Jeff McMaster on RS, which is Ravi Shankar. That's sold to Jeff McMaster. 35 on Sam Cooke. Now 30. Michael Nath first on Louis Armstrong. Michael Nath first on that. Let's go ahead and sell Steve Botsford Led Zeppelin for $35. Sam Cooke is at 35 with Shepherd Michael. 35 with Shepherd Michael. We got bidders on YouTube and Facebook. So if you're watching, right here where my hand's going up and down, sorry, everything's mirrored, so I have to, yeah, right here. Where my hand's going up and down, that is the master feed, which is also mirrored over here on my phone. There's the bids. And so if you're kind of new, there's bids on YouTube and Facebook. So if you're just looking at your Facebook chat, you may not see all the bids. And if you're looking just on your YouTube chat, you got to look at on the screen, which is kind of small unless you're watching it full screen or you got it casting to a big screen. So just so anybody new watching, like, where's these other bids coming from? That's where they're coming from. The other Louis Armstrong is $9.99. This is Louis Armstrong in the 30s and Louis Armstrong in the 40s. That's the name of the album. $9.99. Okay, so 32, Sam Cooke, 32, 36, 38, 45, 40. Fred's out, 43. Cool Sounds of Albert Collins and Cranberry, that is already sold. The jazz legend, Louis Armstrong, 2LP, that is sealed, unopened, $24.99. Michael Nath first on Armstrong. That's got to be for the one I just showed. There's another one. And the Best of John Lee Hooker, $29.99. That's going to be an instant seller. The Best of John Lee Hooker, $29.99. Johnny Cash, Any Old Wind That Blows. Any Old Wind That Blows, $19.99. Johnny Cash, very clean copy. Chris got that one first. Chris got John Lee Hooker, Michael Nath second, Sherry Darnell third. Memphis Slim, the Bluesman series. Memphis Slim is $19.99. Jazzman label, $19.99 for Memphis Slim. Wings at the Speed of Sound, Silly Love Songs, $24.99. $24.99. Chris DeMoss first on Memphis Slim. Michael Nath second. Sherry Darnell third. Same order again on that one. The Beatles' second album. This is a 1976 Capitol pressing. $24.99. Well, you don't see that label too often. Second album. That's a 76 pressing. It's got a punch hole in it. Very nice copy. $24.99. Sam Cooke High Bid. We have Sam Cooke. This is a Legacy Vinyl audiophile pressing. High bid is with Shepherd Michael at $45. Shepherd Michael has that for $45. That's going once, going twice. Tony Shore wants Paul McCartney and Wings. That's sold to what did I just say? Tony Shore. Cranberry, you were fourth on John Lee Hooker, and the Johnny Cash is called Any Old Wind That Blows. Sam Cooke's now at 48 with Russell S. Ella Fitzgerald sings the Rodgers and Hart Songbook. Ella Fitzgerald, $24.99. Very clean copy on the Verve label. Ella Fitzgerald, $24.99. Jefferson Airplane, Volunteers, Gatefold pressing. RCA, probably a black, no, it's an orange label, $24.99. Jefferson Airplane, Volunteers, that is still available, or that is available. Drummer Man, Gene Krupa. Drummer Man, $19.99 for Gene Krupa. Blue Verve label. Got some good jazz mixed in here. Darts, $19.99. Darts, self-titled, $19.99. Tony Shore Wings, John Lee Hooker, Johnny Cash. We already got those. Sam Cooke's now at 52, now 55. James Bragg wants Jefferson Airplane. Frank Sinatra, Adventures. I have never seen this Frank Sinatra album before. Adventures of the Heart. I thought I've seen them all. This one is $14.99. Adventures of the Heart. Tony Shore first to Darts. Sam Cooke's at 55 with Russell S. The Persuaders, Thin Line Between Love and Hate. This is a white label promo, $39.99 on the Win or Lose label, which is a subsidiary of Atlantic. Don't see that too often. The Persuaders, white label promo, $39.99. Shepherd's at 62 on Sam Cooke. John Mayall, here's one we don't see of his too often, Memories. John Mayall Memories, $29.99. Let me put up another auction. I've been pulling stuff all night out of our high-end bin. I'm not doing too much obscure stuff, but I'm pulling stuff like, I can't believe this didn't sell. And here's one. I'm going to start this where somebody's going to buy it. This is incredible. It's got an awesome cover to start. It's a quad Japanese pressing of Santana Abraxas. It's got like a foil high gloss cover to it. Gatefold pressing, Santana Abraxas. This is a Japanese quad pressing. Japanese quad pressing. As you can see, nice cover, about a VG plus. About a VG plus. It has the poster with it. It has the Santana poster with it. And the vinyl is what you normally expect from a Japanese pressing. Near mint and pristine. This is a quad Santana. That's going to sound incredible if you have the right equipment. $35 start. $35 start. No Obi, unless it's tucked down in the cover. We didn't get this one. This came from a collection we bought. We didn't get this one imported from Japan. No Obi. I wish it did. I probably would be keeping it. But it's got the poster, the LP, and this awesome, like high gloss foil cover. That's a $35 start. That's up for bid. Okay, so Sam Cooke was at 62, and then Michael Nath wants to John Mayall. Sam Cooke is at 65. How much was the Beatles' second album? That was $24.99, and that was a orange Capitol label, 1976 pressing. That is near mint. That is Tim Holloway. That's yours if you want it. Santana 35, 35, 36. Is it in quad and SQ or CD4? It is an SQ. It says quadraphonic SQ. SQ. Santana 40 and 40 again. John Cougar Mellencamp promo copy, $9.99. This is Play Guitar radio version and Pink House's acoustic version, $9.99. Tim said sold on the Beatles. Sam Cooke is now at 70. Johnny Cash, can I see half price? Johnny Cash is Any Old Wind That Blows. This is $19.99. Columbia, of course, $19.99. That is still available. Jeff McMaster wants the John Cougar Mellencamp single promo. The Fix, Sign of Fire, and One Thing Leads to Another live, and Saved by Zero live. That's their two best songs live versions. $14.99. That's a 12-inch promo copy. The Beach Boys Deluxe set. This is a 30-track Beach Boys box set. $34.99 from Capitol Records. $34.99. $34.99. So John Cougar Mellencamp, Santana 42, Sam Cooke 75, Santana 47. Yes, some of the hardcore is going to be tomorrow. I'll make that announcement again. Tomorrow, we're at least going to have 2 full crates of some of the punk hardcore music, along with more new vintage arrivals, new vinyl, and we're going to work on some blues stuff tonight. And I don't want to say the word cassettes because that's a lot to get ready the next 2 nights, but possibly cassettes, might show some collectibles like Beatles magazines. We need a good Funko run through, maybe some 45s, stuff like that. So lots of interesting stuff the next couple shows. If you're just hopping on, we're right in the middle of a heated crate and 2 heated auctions. We're probably going to stop tonight at 10:30 and take a break, and then at 11, we're going to have half off and on sale vinyl the rest of the night. That's the schedule for the rest of the night and the next 2 nights. Chris DeMoss was first on the Fix. Donnie Moore was second. Tony Shore third. Shepherd Michael is out on the Sam Cooke. So Sam Cooke is with Russell S. for $75. That's a legacy vinyl audiophile press of One Night Stand live at the Harlem Square Club. Going twice, going 3 times on that. Darren Meyer was at 47 on the Santana. Jared DeJagger is out. And Steve Botsford wants the Beach Boys box set. No, tomorrow will be the purple announcement. It looks like we're going to have 30 copies. Don't hold me to that, but I think that's what we got. We're going to have 30 copies of Metallica. So if you want to go back and look at the original pre-order, if you're 1 through 30, then you're probably going to get one, or at least 1 through, let's say, plus or minus, probably plus or minus, more so -2. So around 1 through 30, I'll announce those, and then I'm going to tell everybody who got a black one for sure, and I'm going to see how many black copies I have left. That's the deal on Metallica. We'll do that officially tomorrow night around probably 7:30 or 8 when we're doing new vinyl. Because we got new vinyl to show tonight, and we'll have more delivered tomorrow. The legendary Hank Williams. I've never seen this before. It's an RCA Music Service special pressing, $24.99. Looks like a good hits comp. Jambalaya, Cheating Heart, Kalijah, Code Card, Hey Good Looking, Code Heart. Grand Funk Phoenix, 1999. Grand Funk Phoenix. Good singing, good playing by Grand Funk Railroad. That's in shrink wrap, 1999. The Best of Chess, Rock and Roll. Very cool. That's a rock and roll compilation from Chess Records, $26.99. Chuck Berry, Bo Diddley, Bobby Charles, Moonglows, Flamingos, Monotones. We had some questions about 45s, EPs. The 45s I'll go through will be stuff I've gone through before, but there's some good stuff in there. So we'll be discounting, probably running some auctions, doing some bundle deals, stuff like that. Chris DeMoss first at the chess comp. I need to do a final call on these 2 auctions. Santana is at 47 with Darren Meyer, the Japanese quad pressing, and Sam Cooke's at 75. I'm about to sell those. The Best of Chess Jazz. Best of Chess Jazz is $26.99. Best of Chess Jazz. Paul McCartney and Wings, Red Rose Speedway, $24.99 on McCartney. B.B. King and Bobby Bland together for the first time live. ABC Command Quadraphonic. ABC Command Quadraphonic. That's a 1974 quad press, $34.99. B.B. King Midnight Believer. B.B. King Midnight Believer, gold stamp promo, $24.99. I need a Sprite. Timeout. I'm calling a timeout, Seth. How many do I have left? I'm taking a 30-second timeout. In basketball, you get 3 full timeouts, which are 60 seconds, and you get 2 30-second timeouts. I'm taking a 30. In football, you get, which by the way, those timeouts reset after halftime. And then in football, you get 3 timeouts in each half. Did you know that, Tanner? Tanner said he never played basketball. Neither did Seth. I myself was a standout. Starter. 5 years. B.B. King, Michael. Nope, let me go back up to the top. We got B.B. King, Jazz, B.B. So I showed back-to-back B.B. King. So Michael Nath, let me know if you want the B.B. King and Bobby Bland and B.B. King Midnight Believer. Your dibs on those. Tony Shore was first to the best of Chess Jazz. That's sold to Tony Shore. Then label on Red Rose Speedway. Let me show that for John. He's looking for the MPL label. Drum roll. We have I guess what you call just a regular label. That is what I call the regular label. Shepherd Michael third on B.B. King. James Bragg wants the BB promo, so he's possibly second on that. Julie Williams said false. Wow, my mom's calling me out on my basketball stuff. I'll take what you give me. All right, so I'll give you both of these then. You were first, so I guess he's saying he wants both. Sam Cooke is sold to Russell S for $75. Mom, you should be in bed. It's almost 10 o'clock. Are you opening in the store tomorrow, by the way? I woke up to like 300 text messages from you, so I really need to know if you're opening the store in the morning so I know how late I can stay up. Hopefully I can stay up all night. My customers would really like that. Our customers would really like for me to stay up all night so I can get lots of new records priced. So if you can come open the store tomorrow, Mom, that would be great. And Santana is sold to Darren Meyer for $47. I think the Watertown mile-long yard sale's tomorrow, but it's supposed to rain. That's why John's off. My mom is going to go to that. We're going to hunt records and other stuff at yard sales. So, okay. Or at least I send her to do that. I gave up. I got to a point in my career, I go and buy collections. I still send people like my mom and John to go to yard sales, but it's just too much running around for me. I like to go someplace where there's like 10,000 records. I can buy them all, load them up, and bring them back. I'm not all about driving around Middle Tennessee at yard sales and estate sales. I just don't do that anymore. Can't do it. B.B. King is only $19.99, and it's sealed. B.B. King, the rough guide to the blues legend, B.B. King. Let's see here. If you want to know, you should have answered my text and know it's Saturday officially. I'm not sure what that means. I guess she's opening the store tomorrow. I guess I got to check my text messages, yeah. Michael Nath on B.B. King. Fred Carnell is second. Fred Carnell's second on that. John Lennon Double Fantasy. This is a sealed copy. Sealed $39.99. Sealed $39.99. Nat King Cole, Wild is Love. Nat King Cole is $14.99. Wild is Love. White Boy Blues, classic guitars of Clapton, Beck, and Page, $34.99. $34.99. Belinda wants the sealed Double Fantasy. James Bragg is second. And we have Desmond Decker, Black and Decker. Wow, $19.99. Desmond Decker, $19.99. Has some sticker residue on it. $19.99. Krista Moss wants White Boy Blues. Craig Thomas on Desmond Decker. What else? Did I miss anything in there? Apple, Stevie Wonder. That RRS is an apple with a message for Stevie Wonder on back and braille. Now, what are we talking about? Red Rose Speedway is a message for Stevie Wonder. Wow, I've never noticed that. So the back of Red Rose Speedway has braille. And Nigel says that is an apple with a message for Stevie Wonder in braille on the back. Wow. I've never noticed that before. That is new to me. We Love You Baby. The Best of Dwayne Eddy. The Best of Dwayne Eddy is $14.99. Cool cover. That's a popular font color scheme for Best of records from RCA Records. Original inner sleeve, $14.99. And Harry Chapman on The Road to Kingdom Come. That is sealed, $19.99. Sealed Harry Chapman, $19.99. See, I work at nights, and when I wake up, my mom's been here at the store, and I wake up to like 280 text messages, like stuff going on, and then I really can't reply to them all because there's so many. And then she gets mad at me. Oku and AK-7 pressure drop, $24.99. Oku and AK-40, or not 47, AK-7 pressure drop, $24.99. Gene Autry sings South of the Border. Gene Autry, 2LP, All-American Cowboy. Never seen that before. $19.99. Fred Carnell wants the Dwayne Eddy. Let me run through those titles one more time. I still got new stuff to show you, so I'm just going to run through these very quickly and just read the titles. If you want a price, let me know so I can show you some new vinyl. We have Nat King Cole Story, Volume 1, The Sammy Davis Jr. Show, Sammy Davis, I've Got to Be Me, Sammy Davis Jr. Closest of Friends, Up in Duke's Workshop, Duke Ellington and his orchestra, Count Basie and the Mills Brothers, KC Jazz with Count Basie, Shaved Fish, John Lennon, Stuff, David Wright, the original home band, Moody Blues, Caught Live +5, Will and the Bushmen, Doug and the Slugs, Rap It, Roadie, The Best of Lovin' Spoonful, Paul McCartney, Venus and Mars. Jeff McMaster wants the Oku. That's sold to Jeff McMaster. Doug Kershaw, Swamp Grass, Roseanne Cash, 7-Year Ache, George Harrison, Dark Horse, Louis Armstrong, Jazz Legend, Ella Fitzgerald Sings, Drummer Man, Gene Krupa, a couple of those I'm surprised are still in there, Frank Sinatra, Adventures of the Heart, The Persuasions is a white label promo, Thin Line Between Love and Hate, Johnny Cash still available, the legendary Hank Williams, Sealed, Grand Funk Phoenix, Grand Funk Good Singing, Good Playing, Nat King Cole, Paul McCartney and Wings, Harry Chapman was Sealed, On the Road to Kingdom Come, and Gene Autry. Yes, the Lovin' Spoonful is complete. It's complete with all 4 photos. It has a little bit of sticker residue right here. It has the hype sticker. Contains large, full-color individual photos of John, Joe, Steve, and Zal. All 4, and that is $19.99. Surprised no one's grabbed that yet. I bet Michael Weil will now, though. All right, if you have any other questions on those, just let them roll. I'll keep this crate over here very handy where we can go through it again or get to it if you have any questions. Zach Anderson, are you still watching? Because I just found this Bo Diddley record again. I will show that to you. And let me see what I've gotten here. New. Oh, yeah. Y'all are going to like this spin. This is all stuff that I haven't had in a long time. Did we get this one priced, though? I hope so. Oh, never mind. It's not priced. Bwomp, bwomp, bwomp. I didn't have that one filled out. Let's see here. I can tell the prices. We can do that. Let me find this right here. Let me see this. Over here. Okay. I know, I just flipped through it. I know what most of them are from memory. These here, yeah. Let me just take a calculator with me in case I need it. And because this is stuff I really wanted to show, so plus I've been just telling everybody we had it. So let me do that. Got my sheets here. We can make up, Tanner, I'll have to tell you prices on the fly with these, but I'll do it. Okay. This may not be as fast-paced as normal, but here it goes. Michael Weil says he'll take it. It does have the photos, so those are sold to Jeff McMaster and Michael Weil. And first, let me set this over here where I can do this a little bit easier. Let me do it. Let me lay this here. Okay. All right. We had these before. It also came as a box set. And it came as a box set, and then it came as an individual package as well. And this is $54.99. $54.99. This is Life Moves Pretty Fast, the John Hughes mixtapes. All the John Hughes movies. 2LP, 25 tracks from the movies. 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, Weird Science, Pretty in Pink, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which I've never seen on vinyl. Some Kind of Wonderful. Planes, Trains, Automobiles, She's Having a Baby. That is $54.99. Do you have an extra pen? I'll take that one so if I have to go back through these, I can do that right here. have to take a peek at what's coming up next. This, I've never seen Volume 3 of this album, this next album. I've never seen Volume 3. I know we've had Volume 1 and Volume 2, but this is $44.99, the Quentin Tarantino Experience. The Quentin Tarantino Experience, Volume 3. And that's on yellow and red vinyl. The Quentin Tarantino Experience, the ultimate tribute. And that is a selection of music from his soundtracks. And that is $44.99. I'll actually take a pricing gun. I can mark some of these live. Y'all can see us price vinyl live. That way when they get to Tanner, they're already priced. But yeah, Quentin Tarantino Experience is $44.99. Have not had that one before. And that's sold to Chris Kirkley. Ella Fitzgerald price from the last crate. I'll do that right now. And the Quentin and the Tarantino's $44.99. I've only got one copy, Volume 3. If anybody else wants one, let me know. Let me know if you want a copy. I think Jason Kenton wants one, and Alice Lowry. Let me figure out what we have here. Blues Jam. Let's see here. This is going to be $36.99 for the Blues Jam. And you're like, what is he talking about? It's this right here. Blues Jam in Chicago. Fleetwood Mac, Otis Spawn, Willie Dixon, Shaky Horton, J.T. Brown, Guitar Buddy, Honey Boy Edwards, and S.P. Leary. That is $36.99. $36.99. Blues Jam in Chicago. I've only got one. That's sold to Chris DeMoss. Jason Kenton wants Tarantino, and so does Alice Lowry. Let me know if y'all are okay with a wait list. If not, then let me know, because we won't put you down, but I'm going to order more anyway. Also, $44.99 is this next record, and it's really cool. Now that's what I call outlaw country. This is on colored vinyl. It's supposed to be a Walmart exclusive, but it's not. The independent retailers got them too. They're on colored vinyl. It kind of matches this color here, like this burgundy. Now that's what I call outlaw country. That's got Chris Stapleton, Jamie Johnson, Steve Earle, Miranda Lambert, Travis Tritt, Billy Joe Schaefer, Johnny Cash, Charlie Daniels, Johnny Paycheck, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopherson, Waylon and Willie, Tanya Tucker, Emmylou Harris, Jerry Jeff Walker, David Allen Cole, Merle and Willie, and Guy Clark. That's some outlaw country for sure. $44.99. Got one copy, just like the last crate. Lots of one copies in here, and then we're going to do a waiting list if anybody's okay with that. Let me take this Sprite and put the lid back on it before I spill it everywhere. Let me take a peek at what's next. Y'all probably seen that. If so, that's okay. Let me figure out what that was. That one is $38.99. Yep. This is Kiss Monster. Haven't had this one in a while. I got two copies of it, maybe three. Kiss Monster is $38.99. Kiss Monster, $38.99. Yeah, this is, I guess, what was their last studio album, Kiss Monster, with the lineup they're currently touring with. 180 gram, no filler, no ballads, just full throttle rock and roll. Kiss Monster, $38.99. Back to the Future soundtrack. That should be, let's see here. Sorry I don't have these priced, but I definitely wanted to show them while we were still alive tonight. Back to the Future soundtrack is $36.99. $36.99. Back to the Future soundtrack. Sealed new. Power of Love, Huey Lewis, classic soundtrack. Back to the Future, $36.99. Sherry Darnell wants the Outlaw country music. That's sold to Sherry Darnell. This is Flying Dutchman. Let me get you a price on that. This is Flying Dutchman. Figure out. This is also $36.99. This is Flying Dutchman, 1969 to 1965. This is Flying Dutchman, 1969. So a Flying Dutchman label compilation. Never seen this before. Gil Scott-Heron, Leon Thomas, Ornette Coleman, Harold Alexander, Lonnie Liston Smith. 36 on the Flying Dutchman compilation. The Goodfellas soundtrack. Goodfellas soundtrack. Drum roll. $29.99. Goodfellas. First time on vinyl. We've had these before. Great stuff here. Tony Bennett, Aretha Franklin, Bobby Darin, Layla, $29.99. Of course, seen that movie. You know how great it is, along with the soundtrack. $29.99 for the Goodfellas soundtrack. How much was Crusaders Thin Line? That was $39. That was $39.99. $39.99. It's a white label promo. Alice Lowry on Goodfellas. Yeah, y'all getting to see us price stuff live, which is what we do right before. When I post, I'm like, well, we're running behind. We're pricing stuff. This is normally what we're doing. Kiss. We haven't had this in a while. These Monster didn't sell, but I have a feeling these two will. These are Kiss Revenge 2014 US remasters. Kiss Revenge is $33.99. Kiss Revenge is $33.99. There's 2 copies, new and sealed. We had this the other night, which is After the Rain, Muddy Waters. After the Rain, Muddy Waters. Let me find that. There's a couple Muddy Waters albums in here. Muddy Waters, After the Rain. Pretty sure this one was... Let's see here. I know it was $29.99. That's what my gut was telling me. I'm pretty sure we sold 2 last night. Michael Nath knows it better than I do. That's what I thought. Yep, $29.99. I've got 1 copy. Okay, so Kiss Revenge. Ken Crooker got 1 and Joseph got 1. So Ken and Joseph, I'll take a waiting list for this. I had 10 ordered and they only sent me 2. So that tells me they're back ordered. I should be able to get more. But if you're okay with waiting, we should have it. Hopefully they ship more, or I'll check with another distributor next week. So these go to Ken and Joseph. Ron was next, and so was Darren. So 2 people on that waiting list. And Kenny Heathcock first to Muddy Waters. Chris, let me know if you're okay. We have a waiting list for that. Okay, this next record is, let me punch in some calculations here. And this is going to be $46.99. $46.99. Government Mule, Deja Voodoo. Deja Voodoo for Government Mule, and that is on colored vinyl. Colored vinyl for Government Mule, Deja Voodoo. Deja Voodoo on that. $46.99. I've got 2 of those. I haven't had that one. I think we had a used copy from the Murfreesboro collection, and it was not cheap on Discogs whenever we sold that. Toy Story. Toy Story favorites. This is... I think $28.99. You've got a friend in me. I was making sure that was on there. Yep. Toy Story, that is $29.99. $29.99 on Toy Story. That is a picture disc, and that is Toy Story Favorites. Picture disc, $29.99. Government Mule is red vinyl. Thelonious Monk with John Coltrane. Monk with Coltrane. Let's see here. That is $28.99. $28.99. That's on purple vinyl from Wax Time. Thelonious Monk with John Coltrane. $28.99 on that. Thelonious Monk with John Coltrane. Susie Breedlove wants the Toy Story. Can I put back to Warburton? I got to know I realized I had it, and get that Ella Fitzgerald from the last crate. So David Hilton wants to put back the Roy Orbison hits, and he would like to purchase instead this Ella Fitzgerald, which was $24.99. You got it. So Susie got Toy Story. We'll tag that for him. And Tony Shore was first of the month. Michael Nath, you're second. We'll put your name down if you want it. If anybody else wants a copy of that, let me know. Let's see here. I don't know if y'all can see those anyway. I might as well just pull them out. This is $36.99 for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Great stuff. This has the music and the score music. So this has the songs, the soundtrack, songs, and then the score music. And that's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. $36.99. So Mr. Blue Sky, Lakeshore Drive, The Chain, Fleetwood Mac, Bring It On Home, Sam Cooke, Southern Nights, Glenn Campbell, My Sweet Lord, George Harrison, Brandy, You're a Fine Girl. If you don't even like the movie, that's a great comp. Plus you get all the score music. $36.99. Also, Flashlight by Parliament, Guardians Inferno, which is part of the movie, Jay and the Americans. That's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, $36.99. Let me peek at that one. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. Trying not to give y'all any peeks. I like to price them first. I just seen that one on here. This is, let's see. Yeah, there's the Muddy Waters After the Rain. It was $29.99. That is correct. And this one, I just saw it on here. Sorry, I'm looking at like a spreadsheet. It's like really tiny, a lot of lines drawn everywhere. There it is. This is $39.99. This is Muddy Waters, the Montreux Years. Muddy Waters, the Montreux Years, the finest performances from 3 legendary concerts, rare and previously unreleased material, remaster, $39.99. Muddy Waters, Montreux Years, $39.99. Let me skip these because it's more Muddy Waters. Stax. This is Stax Hit 68 to 74. You know that's going to be good. The Stax is, let me find that. Let's see here. I see stuff, then it disappears. Tanner and Seth know what I'm talking about when you're looking at these sheets. It's like you can't see it. Let me set that off to the side for a second. Let me go ahead and pull Michael Nath, Muddy Waters. Chris Kirkley was second. And I'll move on to something else I know the price of, like the best of Muddy Waters. These are $28.99. That's on like brown copper looking vinyl. The best of Muddy Waters is $28.99. Best of Muddy Waters, $28.99. I've got 2 of those. There may have been a waiting list. I'll check on that, but we'll go ahead and tag 1 for Michael Nath. I know I can get more. I may lay this one back there if no one else buys it. I'm kind of bummed out I can't find Stax on here. Government Mule, Flying Dutchman. Let me read them out loud. I might can find it. Let's see. Outlaw Country. We've already done that. Hadn't shown those yet. There it is. It's on the last page. These are $26.99. The best of Stax is $26.99. So Booker T, Judy Clay, Johnny Taylor, Eddie Floyd, you know, Respect Yourself, Shaft theme. It's got a lot of songs on it. Has all the chart. I put that on the back. Has all the chart performances, where they charted at. Yeah, that's a lot of songs. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 songs. Stax Hit 68 to 74. That's $26.99. Chris Kirkley on the Muddy Waters waitlist for the other one. The Guardians of the Galaxy is $36.99. Here's another Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Buddy Guy, Folk Festival of the Blues. This is also $28.99. $28.99 for the Folk Festival of the Blues. Oh, I do. So Chris Kirkley got that one too. So Chris Kirkley on Muddy. Guardians of the Galaxy 36. That is not on. That's on black vinyl. Fred Carnell wants the Stax comp. That's so to Fred Carnell. Fred Carnell on that one. Let's see here. This is $36.99. Thelonious Monk, The Genius of Modern Music, Volume 1. That's a Blue Note Classics reissue. $36.99. $36.99 for Monk, Genius of Modern Music. Thelonious Monk. That's a Blue Note official mastered original analog tapes. Kevin Gray, $36.99. Michael Nath wants the Folk. Monk is $36.99. Ooh, I've probably already seen that. I figured this would be very popular. Smokey and the Bandit is $36.99. It's so popular. It's so tough to get. Smokey and the Bandit soundtrack. I hadn't seen an original, that and the Dukes of Hazzard record in quite some time. $36.99. Kelly Gabney got that one. If anybody else wants one, let me know. Smokey and the Bandit soundtrack, $36.99. These are $44.99. I know the price on these. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Oh Brother, Where Art Thou soundtrack is $44.99. I've got 3 of them. Great soundtrack. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? 3 available. No waiting list. They're all available. I need to rewatch that. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Colin says no waiting list. I'll get more in. Maybe you can catch one live on Monday or Tuesday whenever we get them back in. Pocahontas, Disney Picture Disc. Have not had this one before. I just seen that on here somewhere. Where are you, Pocahontas? Where are you, It should be the same price as the other one, but let me make sure. You never know about these things. Yeah, it's also $29.99. Songs from Pocahontas. I figured Susie would buy that. $29.99 for Pocahontas. I'll go ahead and sticker that. Oh Brother, Art Thou's $44.99. I've got 3 of those in stock. And this should be pretty easy to find. I say that. Let's see here. I have to do some math on this one. Calculator comes in handy. This is $149.99. $149.99. I sold one, I think, earlier this year. The Concert for George Harrison, celebrating the life of George Harrison. 4 LP box. Eric Clapton, Jeff Lynne, Paul McCartney, Tom Petty, Monty Python, Ravi Shankar, Ringo Starr. $149.99. Great stuff there. Billy Preston, My Sweet Lord. Concert for George Harrison, $149.99. Beautiful packaging as well. And this next record we probably will sell out of. It is $36.99. It's a new color variant that I have not had. They originally came out as imports, and now they've made them, it looks like United States versions, so they're a little bit less cheaper. And that's Black Sabbath self-titled on purple and black splatter vinyl. Purple and black splatter vinyl. That's Black Sabbath's first album. Those are $36.99. I've got one. I've got two. What's that, Seth? Less cheaper? Yeah, less cheaper. No, less cheaper. $36.99. Black Sabbath self-titled. Purple vinyl. $36.99. Chad, if you don't put me on the list for Revenge, I already have it. So Ron Duffield, no waiting list for Kiss Revenge. Black Sabbath. Joe Gabriel, John Ambrosic, Kelly Gabney, Craig Johnson, and Clay Moore. Go ahead and let me know if you want one. I can get more. I've got 5. That's Black Sabbath on purple and black splatter vinyl, $36.99. That was originally an import only. So those go to Jared DeJagger, Joe Gabriel, John Ambrosic, Kelly Gabney, and Craig Johnson. Everyone else will be a waiting list if that's okay. That's Clay Moore, Tony Shore, Susie Breelove, Brian C. Anybody else, let me know. Okay, let's go through these one more time. Sorry I didn't have those marked, but I knew I really wanted to go through them because I figured most of it would sell. So thank you for bearing with me for that. Ron also wanted a Black Sabbath. Ron, I don't see that. His comment just came in. Ron Duffield, Sabbath. So we'll also put him down. So Kiss Monster, $38.99. Kiss Monster, $38.99. Back to the Future soundtrack, $36.99. This is Flying Dutchman, compilation stuff from the Flying Dutchman label. Not easy to get stuff, $36.99. Not easy to get that stuff on original pressings. Government Mule, Deja Voodoo. That's on colored vinyl, $46.99 for Government Mule, Deja Voodoo. Matthew Christ on Back to the Future soundtrack. Sell that to Matthew. Guardians of the Galaxy, $36.99. Like I said, great track listing on that. $36.99 on Guardians of the Galaxy. Surprised no one grabbed the Monk. Thelonious Monk, Genius of Modern Music, a Blue Note reissue, $36.99. All Brother Warthals are still available. All 3 copies of Brother Warthal. I'm a Man of Constant Sorrow. In the Jailhouse Now. Down to the River to Pray, which is Alison Krauss. Great stuff on here. $44.99. And Concert for George. Concert for George Harrison. $149.99. $149.99. George Harrison. He asked at the end of his comment. Oh, wow, he did. He was typing in Sabbath. We may have to redo that order, Tanner. So it's Jared DeJagger, Ron Duffield, Joe Gabriel, John Ambrosic, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Craig is going to be first on the wait list. He did. Sure enough, Sabbath. He was probably typing that comment, and then I showed it, and he slipped in Sabbath there on the end before he hit send. So Jared DeJagger, Ron Duffield, Joe Gabriel, John Ambrosic, and Kelly Gabney. That means the waiting list, Craig will be at the top, then Clay, then Tony, then Susie, then Brian, and I think we're caught up now. So that's George Harrison, O Brother Warthal, Monk, Guardians of the Galaxy, Government Mule, Flying Dutchman, and Kiss. We're going to take a break at 10:30, which is in 5 minutes, so we'll stop there. Here's what we'll do when we'll come back. We'll do a quick recap probably of all the new vinyl. We'll probably do a recap of all the new vinyl tonight. I'll have one more crate that I can price. That's where the Gin Blossoms is at. We got a restock on Loretta Lynn and something else I can't recognize across the room. We'll do half off, so recap of new vinyl, half off, and we may go back through some stuff tonight. I can't believe they didn't sell. During that hour, we're back live. I'll probably do some auctions from the high-end bin, some more classic rock stuff out of their reduced starts. All right, so thanks everybody. Hope you can come back in 30 minutes. Don't fall asleep on us. We'll be back. Ryan Anderson must have already fell asleep because I asked him if he was awake for the Bo Diddley bundle, and he wasn't. So I guess I'll send him a message. 10 o'clock sharp. Well, I'll try to start right at 10. You should be able to find the feed by 11:05, and we'll be back at midnight. Or we'll be back at 11, and we'll go till midnight. Okay.